next-door neighbor.
All right, sir.
Yeah, he died of overdosing on Viagra.
Oh, no.
And his poor wife, boy, did she take it hard. You know what I mean? And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
Yeah, they had kind of a Rocky marathon over the weekend, I noticed on TV, too. How's it going? Look out. 2:55. Hoorah! It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. We're here live on Memorial Day. And it's nice to have you aboard. I hope at some point you will actually pay tribute to those who have sacrificed in the ultimate way so that we can sit here today and be ourselves. God bless America. At Semper Fi, 2:55. Look out, here we go. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. I'm getting choked up right now. Is that unbelievable? Oh, my God. You know what I'm thinking of right now? Oh, my God. I'll tell you what I'm thinking of right now. She was magnificent. Oh, I'm not thinking. Yes, no, you can't. She was beautiful. I wanted to kiss her. I wanted to kiss her. That's all I wanted. I didn't care if we even had sex. I just wanted to kiss her. Oh, God. 2:56. Actually, I will tell you a kind of a Marine Corps story, if you don't mind. Over the weekend again, now every time Full Metal Jacket's on, I DVR'd, and then I just watch a couple of good parts and erase it and get it the next time. So there were a couple of segments on, and I was watching it. It might have been last night when I replayed part of it. And there's one part of it in. Let me explain the theory of the team in boot camp and getting ready to go to war. At Parris Island, I can't speak for anything else other than Parris Island. When you start, you're a nothing. You're lower than whale poop. And when they're giving you cadence, when they're calling cadence as you're marching on, you march everywhere, and you have to be in formation, and you have to be in straight lines, and your alignment. I mean, it's very, very specific that you have to do things so you're not looking like a caterpillar all wobbling all over the road. But the drill instructors at the beginning are always going all over the place. Every step they're calling cadence. They don't, it's right there, and they keep doing it. Eventually, as you get better at it, as the platoon starts to mature, it starts getting a little salty, which means you've been there for a little while and you kind of get it. After a while, the drill instructor will go, and he'll stop, and you keep marching, and you go to the sound of the boots on the pavement. And there's a very specific sound of it when those boots are all perfectly in sequence. It's a thump, thump, thump. And in Full Metal Jacket, there's a part where they've been there a few weeks, and then they kind of dissolve into the platoon, marching along without the drill instructor saying a word, and all you hear is the boots on the ground. And here's what happened at Parris Island. When you're first there, just at the very beginning, you don't know squat about anything, and you're marching like crap. Every time you're in front of your squad bay and the drill instructor is giving you orders, or you're doing whatever it is, if another platoon that's been there a long time at Parris Island starts coming toward you, marching down the parade way toward you, the drill instructors will have you stop and stand at attention to listen to the next for the platoon that's been there a while come marching down. And as soon as you see them going flump, 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 and a drill instructor doesn't say anything. It's total silence except the marching of the beats of the heels of the boots. Boom, boom, boom. And it's awesome. And I remember this changed my life. I remember when I got it the first time, when I said, holy crap. I mean, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, is this unbelievable? And when our platoon felt that way for the first time, let me tell you something. It was magic. It was freaking magic. And at that point, we wanted to go to Vietnam and kill. I mean, we were cemented. We were Marines. We weren't graduated yet, but we were ready. And when we were marching along, and then the first time that we were marching down the parade way, and there were other platoons who had just gotten to Parris Island, didn't know squat, and their drill instructors made them stand at attention while we marched by. Oh man, we were proud, and well, my God, we were freaking Marines, and we were showing off. Fire, fire, help! And you couldn't hear the drill instructor. All I could hear was our boots on the pavement. It was the damnedest thing. I remember that to this day. And I changed my freaking life. And I wanted to go to war right there. Semper Fi. That was a turning point in my young life. And when you, honestly, when you see movies like that, if you see Full Metal Jacket, they have a section where you can see them, just the sound of the boots marching along, and they're perfectly in unison. It's freaking awesome. I mean, a little thing like that actually changed my life. A couple of those things changed my life too. When you first time he hit you in the solar plexus.
When we finally got things right at Army basic training, we were we had our company flag had the cover over it.
Yeah,
had the cover over it, so we couldn't display it because I had KP. Me and my battle buddy had KP, and nobody made our bunk for us while we were doing KP. So we came back from breakfast, and our bunks had been thrown out of the window. They were laying in the middle of the drill field. And so we worked our butts off for the next 3 weeks, and we finally got something perfect on the drill pad, and the drill sergeant said, "You guys became a platoon today."
Yeah, it really, it was an incredible experience. Just
those stories, just. I mean, I remember the first day at Weevil camp, and we went up to that stream.
We had to make that fire with 4 matches.
Yeah.
In the wind.
I'm not going to miss you one bit.
301, you bastard. Anyway, how you doing? It's only me, it's only the Kimmer. Memorial. And by the way, Hangman was very nice to hand me a little something here, some ground rules that somebody put out. Okay, first of all, there's first ground rule says, do not wish me a happy Memorial Day. There isn't anything happy about brave men and women dying. You know, nonsense. Frankly, okay, we have Happy New Year, Happy Easter, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, Happy anniversary, Happy birthday. Everything is a happy except Memorial Day. And so people automatically say, well, Happy Memorial Day, but they don't mean to be happy, because I think everybody understands it, although most people take it as the beginning of summer and a nice shopping day and a day off from work. And that's too bad. But if you say to me, well, I'm thinking about you and thank you for service and Happy Memorial Day, I'm not offended. I mean, come on, cut a little slack here. I mean, that's not an offensive thing to me. We know what you mean, and that does count. And the other thing it says, please do not thank a living veteran for his service. They'll get honored on Veterans Day. That's nonsense too. I'm honored when someone says thank you. And my daughters and my favorite ex-wife, sent me thank you stuff on Veterans Day, and glad that I came home from Vietnam. I mean, my God, that touches me. How could you be offended by that? So I don't know whose thing this is, but this is a little too much for me. Again, just relax. It's and most families at some point I think they have a discussion of what the day means, and then they're spending a family day. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if you've lived through it and you've done it, then it has a whole different meaning. But that's my meaning. That's for me. So I'm not going to criticize how everybody else feels about it. You know what I mean? It's just silly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. It's just we understand the deal there. All right, 303. Oh, here's our number, by the way. Oh, by the way, there's a very light log commercial light. So if you want to call, you're not doing anything. We'd be happy to have you aboard.
Neither are we.
Oh God, it's only 303.
This is going to be 3 hours. And it's only 303. By the way, does the newsmaker line know we're working, right?
I don't know.
I called him a couple of times. Anyway, here's the number, 404-741-1067, 1067, 404-741-1067. It's only me, it's only the Kimmer. Memorial Day, which, by the way, was first observed as a decoration day after the Civil War. It became an official federal holiday, but it wasn't until 1971.
Really?
Is that amazing? Yeah. I can't believe it. Oh, hold on. Here's a new. By the way, anybody answering the phones today?
Yeah.
Spencer, get your Spalding, get your foot on the phone. Hold on. Here's the newsbreaker line. Peace to you on the old newsbreaker line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kimmer. It's Peter Griffin calling. How you doing?
Hey, Peter. Great, man. How you doing?
Well, I was shocked to see a Frenchman win the Indianapolis 500 yesterday.
Yeah, French guy. I saw that, man.
I figured being from France, he would have surrendered the lead. Obviously, there were no German tanks on the track yesterday. Thank God he saw a checkered flag and not a white one. I said,
checkered flag.
White one. Is this on good?
It's on now.
Now, the winner of the Indianapolis 500 from France, Simon Pagino, received a first prize check of $2.4 million.
Wow, $2.4 million.
Roughly half of what it cost to build the Burt Show's new studio.
It's a beauty.
Wise, he traveled all the way to Indianapolis to the Motor Speedway, but was denied admission, you know?
He was denied admission?
He couldn't get past that sign, you must be this tall or accompanied by a parent. They just sent him back up. I was saddened to learn of the death of NFL legend Bart Starr.
Bart Starr died, yeah.
Yeah, Bart came from a long-forgotten era when Green Bay quarterbacks had a real wife and children of their own. Not rented girlfriends hired to snuff out the John Ossoff gay rumors that Aaron Rodgers has had to endure, you know? Good to see Danica Patrick analyze a race she never completed yesterday. Yeah, never came close to completing, you know.
And practice her wrecks the weekend before.
Let me tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape.
Well, what happened to you, Peter?
Well, last week I told my wife, Lois, she needs to be more honest with me, so she stopped moaning. Hangman knows what I'm talking about over there, you know?
I'm in here.
Kevin Durant is upset with the idea the Warriors might be better off without him.
Without him, he's wondering. Well.
Hey, it's not like since his injury they've won 6 playoff games in a row. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, hold on.
It's not like the best of the Kevin Durant show is replaced by Pete Davis every weekend. That's when you know for sure people are better off without you, you know?
Yeah, whatever happened to the camera, I wonder.
Great to be on the show.
Peter, thank you so much, Peter Griffin. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Woo. Jeez. You know, at some point we're going to find out what the air is like in this room, I have to tell you. All right, hold on a second. Buck on 2. Let's get Buck on the radio here. Hey, Buck, how's it going, man? Welcome.
Hey, Kimmer, this is great. I'm glad to finally talk to you before you guys get to leave and everything. I'm really going to miss you.
Well, I appreciate
it. You were talking about Full Metal Jacket. Now, I know you can remember your senior driller's instructor's name just like it was yesterday.
Staff Sergeant Luzinski, Sergeant Burton, and Sergeant Hopkins. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Those are 3 of the most profound names you'll ever remember.
Yeah, and that was 50-something years ago.
Yes, sir. I retired from the Marine Corps in 1994. I had 22 years.
Wow, good for you. Outstanding.
I stayed as long as I was having fun, and then Bill Clinton came along.
Yeah, I know a lot of Marines who said, that's it for me, pal. Goodbye.
We're gone. But, no, it was, I had a great time. But like I said, I wanted to tell you guys I really hate to see you guys go because I think you guys do a great service to Atlanta and Georgia itself.
Well, Buck, I appreciate it. And Semper Fi, my friend. We're trying to work something out. We'll, keep the lights burning. Just we may know something by Friday. If we don't, just keep in touch with the Kimmer Show Facebook page. You know how to get on that, right? Because I still haven't, figured out how I can get on my Facebook page. So between the Kimmer Show Facebook page and you still do it, you have your podcast and tweets and
Twitter and Facebook.
So social media we'll be keeping you posted. But all right, hold on. Here's Al 308. Here's and Al is very soon now. Al will be.
Since you were on GST,
WGST,
for 20 some odd years, man.
Oh man, appreciate it.
And God, I'm gonna hate. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna listen to during the day anymore.
You know, I was thinking that myself. I have my radio set when I'm in the morning when I'm taking notes on TV and going through the paper and the internet. I have our station on, so I'm hearing what's going on in our. I don't know what the hell I'm going to listen to in the morning. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any. What am I going to do?
I don't even know morning or afternoon all day.
Yeah.
I told Shannon the same thing this morning, but listen, my brother retired from Channel 5 when you used to work for them doing the weather.
The weekend weather. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, let me tell you something. I don't know what the heck's going on other than I know the money thing, but my God, this has been the best lineup that I've ever heard on Atlanta radio. No disrespect to the other two guys, but your show and Shannon's show, I mean, it's nothing but comical and funny and just a comic relief.
Well, Al, I appreciate it, my friend. We'll definitely, we're working on it. We're working on it. Are we doing traffic today?
No.
There's no traffic? Oh, my God. So what does that mean? Now, when's our break?
There's no. Now. Right now.
All right. Okay.
Break at the same time. We just don't have traffic.
I got you.
And we have no commercials.
Okay. Well, let me give you the phone number again, and then Larry and Mike are coming up. 404-741-1067. 404-741-1067. It's 3:10, and it's Memorial Day on the Goodbye 106.7.
Douglas. And this portion of our show is brought to you by the president of CVS Pharmacy.
Oh.
He said, don't blame us for high drug prices. You mean as opposed to that line in the street? Because you won't open a second God-blessed register?
Oh.
And now here's your host, Kimmer.
It's so late. 3:13. This is the official theme of the United States Coast Guard. Semper Paratus, always a parrot. Special. We're dancing on the seas, ho, ho. Here we go, and riding on the water. We're so happy now. We're in a big boat, and it's going really fast, and we're trying to pull over some boat.
Ooh la la.
Dun, 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 dun. Now we joke, we tease, we love the Coast Guard. You know, in fact, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that when you're in a Coast Guard, and when you're in Coast Guard training, they will send you out on a Coast Guard cutter, and they will flip the boat 360 degrees underwater and back up again. Is that correct? I've heard that.
I've heard the same thing several times.
Oh, come on.
No, it's like in a not a canoe, what do they call it, a kayak, where they go actually underwater and come back, pop up again. My understanding is in the Coast Guard, maybe it's not all the Coast Guards. There's some Coast Guard training, maybe they're Special Forces type, and they go out and they roll the freaking boat. They flip it over underwater and bounce it back up again like a freaking cork.
The whole boat?
I swear to God.
No.
That's what I'm telling you. I could be wrong. There was only some way we could look it up. some source of information. Some readily available fact of statistics and facts. That'll be the day. All right, hold everything. 3:14. All right, hold on. Here's George on the old Deep State out of here, 106.7. Hello, George. You're on the radio. What's up, man?
Hey, Kimmer.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to give a title to your new podcast.
All right, sir.
Killing Time with the Kimmer.
Killing Time with the Kimmer. All right, sir. I like it.
Also, a number of years ago, you posted a challenge to your listeners to see if they could come up with the one scene in a movie that makes everybody cry. Do you remember that?
Oh, man. I'm trying to remember what the entries were.
Field of Dreams.
There's a lot of them. Well, I'm a crybaby anyway, so there's a lot for me. Do you have a special one?
Well, everything got mentioned from Saving Private Ryan to Terms of Endearment to Hillary Clinton in a swimsuit.
Bring tears to your eyes, all right.
But the big one you did was the scene in the animated movie Dumbo.
Oh, did I mention that one? I would have thought Bambi would have been one because that was with my little girls when I took them to see that. Well, anyway, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the scene where Bambi's mother picks him up when she's in jail with her trunk and cradles him. You said it just made you cry like a baby.
Yeah, there you go. Dumbo, that was one.
I think we're getting mixed up.
Yeah, well, Dumbo, Bambi, saying, it's...
They all die in the end. Tragic.
Somebody's getting killed, that's all I know.
Tragic hotel fire.
Somebody's going to die. Eaten up in a tragic Thrasher incident out in the South 40 field.
They might as well, for all mothers in Disney movies, might as well be wearing the red shirts like Star Trek.
Target.
The away team.
Big bullseye. Oh, God. Here's Larry on 2 there, Pete. Hello, Larry. You're on the radio. What's up, man?
Hey, Kimmer. Thanks for being there today.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
Yes. Yeah, and thanks for relaxing enough on the rules so that I can tell you thanks for your service.
Well, now see, how could anybody be offended by that? I mean, if you're a real stickler for something, that's one thing, but my God, nobody's trying to be offensive when they say, say a nice thing, that's all. And thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I agree with you. No, you had said something you hope you said you hope you hope we pay tribute to somebody on this day. And I paid tribute to 2 Marines yesterday. I'm on the staff of a church. And the Sunday before Memorial Day, I've always thought it was important to remember people who have made it possible for us to enjoy the freedom that God has given us. And so I remember 2 Marines yesterday, Manila John Basilone.
Oh, I know that name.
Figured you would.
Famous Marine industry.
Then, I said not everybody that gave their life for the country had a highway named after him, like John Basilone, which Interstate 5 along Camp Pendleton in California is named after him. I don't know if you knew that or not. I don't remember that, I'll be honest with you. When I was at Camp Pendleton, I didn't do a lot of traveling around. Yeah, I was training for the job I currently have, where I work in Buckhead, and they sent me out to California for a couple of weeks, and I was driving Interstate 5, and I saw the John Basilone Highway, and I knew exactly who he was. But I also paid tribute to Corporal Bobby Warnes in Wisconsin that lost his life in 2004 in Iraq. Have you ever heard of him? I can't remember. I don't know. If you tell me a story, I might. It's not a great story. It's not a story like John Basilone. That was the point. But if you want to see something really moving, look up Bobby Warnes and look for the YouTube video. His sister, after his body was returned to America, his sister hired the same company that did a wedding video for her when she got married earlier that year to do a videography of her brother's funeral. Oh, wow. With the folding of the flag and the salute and the whole deal? Yeah, cool. It's one of the most magnificent tributes I've ever seen. It's 5 minutes long, and I know you would enjoy it. Yeah, absolutely. Larry, Semper Fi, man, I appreciate it. Again, I did a little writing with the Patriot Guard. If you've ever been to a full military cemetery funeral service, man, that's really touching. Hold on, here's Mike on the old Almost Gone 106.7. Hello, Mike, you're on the radio.
Hey, Kim, I guess, I started listening to you back in, when I first got to Atlanta. You were on that East German Army surplus equipment. Yes, that was. And then they basically screwed up the stations. Yeah, what can I tell you? Now I finally got hold of it. Well, I was talking to my dad. He did 2 tours in Nam with 1st Cav and stayed in afterwards. And he told me his MOS was 1542 light infantry. Yeah. And he told me that while in Vietnam, they changed it to 1369. I don't know what that is. And I heard it was 13 is unlucky. Well, I think we can get the rest of the picture. Listen, God bless him and Semper Fi. Welcome home to your old man. Okay. Thanks, man. 319. I was going to go. I was going to go faster. Hold on. Here's, Greg's going to help us out in this boat thing. Hey, Greg, well, are you Coast Guardman? You know about this whole flipping the boat deal?
Kimmer, I'm Navy. I was an air crewman, but I'd heard and I've seen the videos. They do that training in Washington State to teach their boat crews how to recover from a fully capsized boat. Wow, is it all Coast Guardsmen, or is it special teams, or what? Do you know? I think it's just the boat crews, the smaller boat crews that go out and rescue people in rough seas. Yeah. I know the Navy has the Dilbert Dunker, which is a simulated helicopter crash they teach with Marines and sailors that are air crewmen. You can't fly unless you go through the Dunker. Yeah, I've heard of that, but I swear that Coast Guard boat flipping up like a cork all the way underwater and back up again is true. And man, it's got to scare the living jingers out of you, huh? They use Boston whalers. Everybody's secured inside the boat, and when it flips, when it rolls over violently, and they teach them how to recover. Yeah. Teaching them how to do it. Yeah, now, do you know if does the water get in where they are and they have to hold their breath, and then, I mean, is there... Absolutely, Cameron. Wow. Absolutely, Cameron. Think about it. What's better than real-world training? Kind of like Dilbert Dunker. Absolutely. The hits the water, and it flips upside down. You got to escape from that 4 times. Yeah. Twice blindfolded. Yeah, absolutely. So, and the boats, they're Boston whalers. They could take a beating, but these guys are really darn good, kind of like they're rescue swimmers. Yeah. Those guys look, they jump in the Barents Sea to save people. I know. It's amazing. Yeah. Hey, Greg, thanks. I appreciate it. Semper Fi to you, too, my friend. 321. Magnificent bastard. I read your book.
321. Hold on. Matt's coming up next with the old Holy Cow. It's Memorial Day, 106.7.
Where Atlanta comes to talk.
This is Mr. Magoo. And now, here's your host. A man who once took out a penthouse centerfold.
Yes, I did.
Of course, he had to take the staple out first.
Well,
yes, indeed. There he is. Yeah. Give me my boy.
Nice of biscuits. 325. And it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Semper Fi, Memorial Day. So anchors away, baby. Marine Corps is the Department of the Navy. The men's department. 325, originally known as Decoration Day. The holiday followed the Civil War, became an official federal holiday in 1971. That amazes me that it was only 1971. Of course, people observe the day by going to cemeteries or memorials, and unfortunately too many just make it a day off and go shopping and so forth, but it's much more than just the beginning of summer, unofficially, of course. The Civil War ended in the spring of 1865 and claimed more lives than any conflict in U.S. history and required the establishment of the nation's first national cemeteries because of all the victims and dead from the Civil War. By the late 1860s, Americans in towns and cities all over started holding springtime tributes to these fallen soldiers, decorating graves with flowers and reciting prayers. Each day on Memorial Day, there's a national moment of remembrance taking place at 3 o'clock local time that most people don't know about. In 1966, I'm not sure where the tradition originated, the government officially in 1966 declared that Waterloo, New York was the official birthplace of Memorial Day. Waterloo first celebrated the day May 5th, 1866, and it's been holding the annual community-wide event with businesses closed, residents decorating graves with flowers and flags.
Commemorated by the Swedish group ABBA.
ABBA, the tremendous Waterloo, commemorative of their father, Napoleon.
By the way, my nephew just fell for it again.
What? Oh, he did?
He texted me, he goes, what's your new address? I write, well, it's a system of numbers and letters. It doesn't date my new
But never mind that now. You have to get to a hospital. By the way, this is fairly... Hold on, Matt, I swear, and Frank, be right with you guys. This is fairly interesting, I think. You may not, but I don't care. I'm reading it anyway. A story of Wilmer McLean. Wilmer McLean, in 1861, owned the farm, McLean's Farm, that would feature in 1861 the first skirmish of the First Battle of Bull Run. It was his farm, McLean's Farm, where the battle took place. A Union cannonball came down his chimney into the fireplace in the kitchen. That's where the battle was, on his land. Thinking he should move to a safer location, he bought a house. Guess where? Appomattox Courthouse neighborhood in Virginia. In 1865, Generals Grant and Lee came to McLean's parlor to negotiate and sign the final surrender, effectively bringing the Civil War to an end. McLean was fond of saying the war began in my front yard and ended in my front parlor. Is that amazing? The same guy. Begin the first shot and the last signing. That's pretty bizarre. 328. Hold on. Here's Matt in Laguna. Matt, how's it going? What's up, sir?
I've been there, Kimmer.
B was there. Appomattox? Oh, hey.
Yes, sir. No, we lived in Raleigh, North Carolina in 1976, and my parents took us all over Washington, D.C., Williamsburg, all of
that's smart. That's great. Yeah, good parenting really right
cool.
there.
It was really cool. But then we moved to California, and I've told you this before. El Toro High School, class of 85. Tons of Marine friends. My best friend growing up when I was a kid, his dad, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Niederhaus, helicopter pilot out of Tustin. And, man, that guy that called earlier talked about Bill Clinton shutting down those bases. Shutting down El Toro, shutting down Tustin. I was in the Bay Area, and they shut down Alameda. It just, I mean, it was heartbreaking. Those places were just ghost towns for years after he shut them down. Thank God in Orange County, they're turning that whole base into kind of residential and making a big giant. It's called the Great Park of Orange County. But I mean, growing up and seeing the Blue Angels every year, and going camping. I was a Boy Scout, going camping at Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, I had all those memories of Boy Scouts and saluting the flag and going to the parades on 4th of July and going to cemeteries on the Memorial Day. Yeah, absolutely. It's an old-fashioned America right there.
And Basilone Road is the last exit in Orange County before you get into San Diego County and Camp Pendleton, and right there is San Onofre if you want to go surfing, Cameron.
Excellent. San Onofre, just like the Beach Boys. Matt Semperfi.
You want to glow?
Yeah, with the radioactivity, you mean? Or
red-headed sharks.
Little radiation runoff or something there, Pete?
Looks like a pair of breasts. They're on the ocean.
Yeah, the two nuclear plants. Yeah, didn't they use that in some movie? Maybe they made it up. I was thinking of a police squad or something.
Yeah, let's put a nuclear plant right here on the ocean.
Yeah.
On the fault line.
Well, it got plenty of water to cool it off, you know. Here's Frank on the old Almost Gone 106.7. Hello, Frank. How's it going?
Hoorah, Marine.
Hoorah, Semper Fi. Yes, sir.
I used to be Frank from Decatur, but now I live in Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, my God.
It's nice out here.
Oh, Lakeland's a nice area. Yeah.
Yep. I miss you guys. Been a long time listener, probably last time caller, but I just, wanted to say how much I appreciated your talents over the years, and hope to keep in touch with you. I gave my number to the call screener. I want to talk to you about your chopper. Just give me a call back anytime, man.
Excellent. Oh, thank you. And Frank, that's very kind. Did you get a number there, Spalding? You just put at the boat?
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank Semper Fi. I really appreciate that.
Dead man.
Thanks for the night. Thank you. Hoorah, Semper Fi. A shark just killed a guy off Maui, Hawaii. Yeah. And there was a story this morning that some girl got bitten, eaten up pretty good, but was alive. She was swimming in a pond in Louisiana.
Yeah. Bull shark.
Huh?
Well, Brett Barney went to Carolina's Hilton Head, and they did a big story about there's great whites right off the shore of Carolina.
Yeah, that's not good. And by the way, if you go to Florida, every body of water in Florida has sharks in it. I'm sorry.
Bull sharks.
If there's a lagoon or a pond or a lake, it has gators.
And they can go into freshwater. Bull sharks don't have to be in salt water. They can go up the Mississippi River. They've been called up the Mississippi River.
Yep. Yeah. And they're big, too.
And
they're mean.
Yeah.
Ponds and bayous and canals in Louisiana, you're dumb.
Yeah,
you put a toe
the gators going in there and poisonous turtles. To say nothing
of. Oh, my God, yes. Forget
the turtles. Hold on. Matt's coming up. It's 3:32. I think that's fairly sure that's the newsbreaker line ring there for a second. Let's just hold on. Let's see. There's the newsbreaker line. Pete, let's see who's on the old newsbreaker line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kimmer. Bring it here.
Oh, no, you almost had it, sir. Almost.
Bring it to me.
No, that's not it. Guys, so close.
We have nothing to fear but afraid.
No, golly. Former Secretary of State John Kerry. No, you don't really have it, sir. I'm sorry.
Memorial Day carries special significance to yours, John Kerry, who served in Vietnam.
I heard you were there for a couple of weeks. Absolutely.
I'm reminded of all the fellow soldiers I threw under the bus with my Senate testimony.
Yeah, that lying stuff, yeah.
Into the savagery of Genghis Khan. I couldn't even say the guy's name right.
What the hell was that? We lost him again. What the hell's going on here? That happened last week, too, remember? Was it Thursday or Friday? All of a sudden, we're on the newsbreaker line. All of a sudden, we hear a doink, and it's gone. Have they shut down the phone service early? Hey, we're here till Friday. Hold on. Let's get it back on again. There we go. That happened again last week. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, former Secretary Kerry. I don't understand.
Well, I think it's being converted over to the K-Love begging line. Before I got disconnected, a guy hit me up for $1,000 in the name of Jesus Christ, and I said, "Will this be going to the poor, the needy, and still?" He said, "No, it'll be to buy another radio station and fire 70 veterans." So they're testing it out over there.
They're just getting ready for the big move Friday night.
Right. June 1st is the official EMF broadcasting takeover date, but we all know they've been running the station since last November when they signed the letter of intent, but your boss didn't know anything about it until February 14th when he called the meeting. Yeah, let's go line that up sometime. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and buy that new car, Kimmer.
Regulation, smegulation, yeah.
Smegulation.
Actually, be good to have K-Love on the Atlanta airwaves. Now Eric Erickson won't be the only guy on radio begging for money every time. I need money. Fox fired me. I lost my website because I hate Donald Trump. Yeah. My income's down by 70%. Who gives a rat's ass? Well, where was I?
Secretary? Everywhere's fine. Anywhere's good.
By the way, Hagman is the one that told me about the Erickson begging Christmas thing. You need to play that before you go here. He didn't exaggerate at all. I mean, the guy's begging for money on it and paid him $200,000 or whatever they pay him.
You can do that?
What?
I said you can do that?
I'm just... Yeah, right. Today is Memorial Day, the day we remember the brave souls who gave their lives serving in the armed services, or as they call it at your corporate headquarters, Monday. I mean, you wouldn't want to anger Lucy McBath by, God forbid, saying nice things about the military. Some of her flunkies might call the Chattanooga home and get you suspended for the last 3 days.
Might get fired for sure this time.
Yeah. In honor of Memorial Day, Bo Bergdahl, Sally Yates, and the staff of King and Spalding will be accompanying me to lay a yellow wreath on the tomb of the unknown deserters. I'm reading these real fast in case I get cut off again. You know?
No, we're good. Take your time.
I understand over at Cox Broadcasting, they were amazed to hear of the death of Bart Starr at 85.
They were amazed to hear of the death at 85. Yeah.
Yet, Cox, it's very unusual for a Packer to make it past 50. Obviously, they're not going to be hiring any of us. So yeah, why hire the show that moved Hannity till 3 in the morning? Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, talk about no callback. Jeez.
Yeah. The Spice Girls comeback show is marred by horrific sound problems, Kimmer.
Horrific sound problems, Spice Girls, really? Yeah.
Yeah, apparently some idiot turned on their mic. I don't want to say the Spice Girls had a rough comeback, but people in the crowd started yelling, "Bring on Banks and Shay!" And finally, a Florida woman was arrested for performing a sex act on a driver while smoking crack and drinking beer. I swear to God, the things some girls will do to win the talent competition at the Miss Florida pageant.
Here she comes.
You just don't get this everywhere. You know?
It's not a normal offering. Oh, God. Oh, former Secretary John Kerry. Lordy. 3:38. Hold on there, Matt and Cliff. We got you all covered here on the old We're Out of Here 106.7.
Hi, this is John Rickles. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Hangman.
Oh, yeah.
I understand he's back. Back where? Home? 680 The Fan, the cigar store? No, how would you know he was back? And now here's your host, the man I never liked, the Kimmer.
Thank you, Don, you hockey puck. 3:42, and it's Memorial Day. And if someone says Happy Memorial Day, don't hit him in the face. Just say, have a powerful day, have a meaningful day, or just God bless America. Thank you, and have a great day yourself. Remember those who sacrificed the ultimate gift for the rest of us. 3:42, Memorial Day, and it's only me, it's only the Kimmer. Here's the number. There's a little Air Force Wild Blue yonder. Aim high, Air Force guys. 404-741-1067, 1067. 404-741-1067. It used to be that if we were going to talk about military service, the Air Force is where you joined if you wanted to be in an official sort of educational career, you know, computers and airplanes and, you know, flying jets and stuff like that. The Navy, if you were kind of a rascal, wanted to see the world and go to foreign ports and have sex with strange women. The Army was for everybody. Anybody could join the Army. The Army will take you. You're going to be in the Army, and you're going somewhere, and there's millions of you, and you're going to be in the Army. And the Marines were... That was the Army. And, of course, the Marines was psychos who just wanted to see what it was like to kill somebody. Well, and, of course, our Coast Guardsmen out there on the deep blue sea. So, anyway, by the way, in 1941 on this day, the British Royal Navy sank the German battleship, the Bismarck. was off the coast of France, cost 2,000 German lives 3 days after the Bismarck had sunk the HMS Hood, and 1,400 died there. In 1941, the German battleship Bismarck finally got sunk. All right, I got 344. Here's Matt up on top, Pete on 1. Hello, Matt, you on the radio. Memorial Day is ours, and Semper Fi to you, sir.
How you doing, Kimmer?
Good.
I'm a Navy vet, and of course we're going to have a love-hate relationship as far as ship time and deployment stuff goes.
Nah.
But I just wanted to call and pay tribute to two very good friends of mine that I went to North Georgia with. One passed due to PTSD, and the other was KIA.
Wow, sorry.
Two dear friends of mine, but I wanted to just call and pay tribute to them, Sergeant Andrew McConnell and also Specialist Keller Stadig, both U.S. Army.
Well, God bless them.
And also, Kimmer, I appreciate your service as a Marine. And, of course, as being a squid myself, we always would play games on the ship with each other.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
I'm kind of glad
for you guys.
Yeah, I never served on a ship with sailors. I served with sailors, but I never served on a ship with sailors. That's got to be pretty tough. I mean, and there was a lot of clowning around, and of course there was, they like to say a love-hate relationship. But in all seriousness, you're all, brothers and sisters. Together when it counts, but I'm sort of glad I didn't get on a ship because there's nowhere to go. I mean, you're there. So
oh yeah, you're there definitely.
Yeah. Well, listen, Semper Fi, man.
I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short, sweet, and long-time listener, first-time caller. In fact, the first time I ever heard you was in the car with my dad when he was on a business trip in Atlanta, and y'all played. Bimbo in the Spoo dress during the whole Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. That was my first Kimmer experience, visiting family up in Atlanta, and I was like 8 or 9 years old.
I'll be darned.
So a long-time listener, big fan, and love what you do with Toys for Tots. Also love what you do for veterans and veterans awareness, and just want to say thank you. Going to miss you, hearing you on the air, and good luck, and thank you.
Matt, thank you so much. I'm Semper Fi to you too, my friend. Again, we'll keep you posted. We may end up somewhere. We're still figuring things out, but we'll keep you posted. No, nothing to report right now. Or probably ever. Well, hold on. Here's Cliff on the old thing with the hello, Layla. You're next on Mike Mitchell and Kay and Tom. Hello, Cliff. You're on the radio.
Hey, Kimmer, how are you?
Doing great, man. What's up?
I just want to tell you a story about my brother. He was in the Air Force from 84 to 1990. And just like you said, he went in and got his private pilot's license. He got his A&P license and moved to Cleveland, Mississippi, into the Delta area and had his own aircraft mechanics company.
Wow.
And we lost him to cancer 3 years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We had a full military honor with the Patriot Guard, and
I'll bet you'll never forget that. That's a very moving experience. I'm glad you at least got to see that.
He worked on a lot of crop dusters, and all of his clients did the missing man formation with smoke trails.
Oh man, that had to be awesome.
It was.
Wow.
Great family man, and I thank you for your service, and hopefully I can see y'all in Big Tex for the party. Hopefully you'll be able to catch up.
Yeah, I'm going to get there at some point. Cliff, thanks, man. I appreciate it. In fact, there's no way I can get this Friday night. Ted Jenkins is having a thing that Shannon Burke's been putting together. There's no way we're going to be here late Friday. There's no way I can get to that one, but I will make an appearance at the Big Tex sometime. Probably late afternoon, but it's also the same night as the Newsmaker Line show at the Swan Coach House. So I'll be going from Big Tex on Saturday, late afternoon, early evening to the Swan Coach House. I can't stay for that whole show, but I'm going to at least make an appearance before the show starts to say hi to everybody and everything. Anyway, and then after that, just go to the newsmakerline.com and find out when the shows are. They're all pretty much so. I think there's one show in July that still has some tickets available. Newsmakerline.com.
I think it was cool that Cliff called us from a crop duster.
He was actually wing walking. He was outside on the wing. No, we really. No, it wasn't. Honestly, I don't know how. I've never called a talk show while I'm in my car, obviously, because But do you have to go Bluetooth or headset kind of thing?
You have to roll your window up.
Yeah, well, but I mean, it makes it hard on talk radio because people don't want to get caught talking on the phone.
What's more important?
No, well, we're more important than a police officer tickets. Jeez. Hold on. Here's Layla, I think, or Leela or Layla. I'm not sure. Hi, welcome aboard.
Hi, it's Leela.
Leela.
I've listened to you since Skinny Bobby.
Oh, wow. Skinny Bobby Harper and Kathy Fishman and, the crew. Larry Munson, the whole team back. Wow, that goes back.
And now even up here in North Carolina. You did two things for us. Early 90s, my older son was decorating his ceiling with stars, and there was this odd thing in the middle of it, and I asked him what it was, and he goes, well, Mom, that's the Keith Callan space helicopter.
Keith Callan, oh man, what a goof, what a nut guy that, what a story. Wow. That's funny.
And then, we didn't get to call you my older son made Eagle, but we met you at an appearance and mentioned when our second son had earned his Eagle, and you went on the radio the next day and congratulated him for earning the rank of Eagle Scout. And I mean, that was like the thing for him.
I remember. I was in the Boy Scouts, but I never made anywhere near Eagle Scout. I had a lot of merit badges, but nowhere near enough for that. I didn't stand long enough. But it really is a tribute. And in fact, I think my producer at the time, Mike Rose, is also an Eagle Scout, which is kind of bizarre.
Southside.
And Southside Steve is an Eagle Scout. Yeah.
And you had a gentleman named Parker that worked with y'all. I can't remember his first name.
Dave Parker?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll be darned. Well, it's quite an accomplishment. Layla, thank you for calling. I appreciate it, and thanks for your kind words. And my memories go way back. 351. What do you got there, Hammer?
And just like Lucas, he never got his pony.
Heartbreaker. Kay, Mitchell, Tom, hold on, you guys, all coming up here.
Wherever you go for the rest of your life, you're a man.
The coward of Cripple Creek. And he rip off his patches and break his sword. Oh, no. 351, and it's only the Kimmer on the Galway 106.7.
This is your president for All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Well, folks, the response here at the White House has been unbelievable. People cannot stop talking about Dan Watkins and his outstanding team. As a matter of fact, there's a phone call right now. Hello?
Mr. President, this is your favorite TV doctor calling. You know, a lot of people are going to go through another summer without an insulated garage door that could save them a fortune on their energy bills. What are they thinking?
Absolutely. All they have to do is call All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors.
Right. Don't sit in a hot house paying more than you have to for energy. How's that working out for you?
Good point, Doc. It's no wonder that All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors have received top ratings from Angie's List and Home Services Review. And they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau.
Kind of like your university?
Let's not go there. Visit the gallery today at allfourseasonsgarages.com. Well, golly, this is Gomer.
Hey, Gomer.
This portion of our show is brought to you by my cousin Goober.
Oh, Goober.
Hey, Goober, do Clint Eastwood for the camera. Hey, Punk, feel lucky today? Man's got to know his limitations. Dying ain't much of a living, boy. Shazam! Sounds just like him. You can close your eyes. And now here's your host, the camera.
All right, hold everything. Speaking of Cripple Creek, the band's got a little something going on there. 3:55 on Memorial Day. Hold on, be right with you, Kay and Tom and Mitchell. By the way, for the record, here are the ages of the following American heroes. Their ages in 1776. Marquis de Lafayette, Revolutionary War hero. Marquis de Lafayette was 18. In 1976, James Monroe, 18. In 1976, Nathan Hale, 21.
1770.
Do I say 18? 19. 17. Oh my God, let me start over. Hey, it's a Kimmer. Guess how old they were in 1770s. Oh, sorry. James Monroe in 1776. James Monroe was 18. Nathan Hale was 21. In 1776, Alexander Hamilton was 21. In 1776, Aaron Burr was 20. What do these kids know? I mean, think about that. 18. The Marquis de Lafayette, 18. Man. Give me a break. 3:56. All right, here's Kay, Pete, on 5 on the old Almost Gone 106.7. Hello, Kay. How's it going?
Hi, Kimmer. I've listened to you for like 25 years.
Wow, thanks.
And I just thank you for your patriotic service. And I'm a little nervous. I haven't really ever called a radio show before.
Well, you're doing great. You're doing great.
You crack me up all the time. I turned my friend on to your show last week, and she was like, just that guy's voice just cracked me up. and hearing your laugh, you know.
Well, that's very sweet.
So, and also Nancy Zintak.
Nancy Zintak, what a sweet lady. She's one of the greatest ladies I know. She was one of the best bosses anyone could ever have. Everybody, no one's ever said a bad word about that woman. Honestly, she's a treasure. It was such a shame that when she had to get out, but she's got like 14 children. They're all beautiful little girls.
Yes, my kids went to school with her kids.
Oh, really? No kidding. What a great family, and just these beautiful little children, one after another. And she's a great mom. You know, when she goes to church and they act up, she gives them a cookie and takes them away. I mean, and of course now they're 30, I could probably, but man.
But
Wow.
Anyway, I really love you and Pete and everybody, and going to miss you and can't wait to see where you end up.
Well, we'll keep you posted, Kay. Thank you very, very much for your very kind words. I appreciate it. Very nice. Something will happen. I'm not being negative in any way. What's that? Bankruptcy will happen, sure. Something's going to happen. 3:58. All right, hold on. Here's Mitchell, Tom, and every Friday Susan's coming up in a second. Hello. Oh, let's get every Friday Susan because she's like 4 days early. Hello, every Monday Susan. How you doing?
I'm great, Kimber. How are you?
We're all right for the last week on the radio. That's for sure.
I just wanted to call in because I appreciate you working on Memorial Day and to honor our fallen heroes. Because unlike you've said it in the past, it's kind of hard to say Happy Memorial Day because it's really not happy, but it's a time to reflect and be grateful, I think, of our fallen heroes. But anyway, I appreciate you working today, and I will call you. I'll be every Wednesday, Susan, on Wednesday, and then every Friday on Friday.
Excellent.
And then I'll see you on Saturday, hopefully.
Outstanding. Look forward to it every day, Susan, right there for the record. 3:58. I got a bunch of Memorial Day things I want to do here also, including the story of John Stith Pemberton from the Civil War and why we all know his name today. Hold on. Here's Mitchell. Pete on 4. Tom's coming up. Mitchell, you on the radio. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good, Kimmer. How are you?
Great, man. What's happening?
Hey, I just wanted to call this last week. I finally got a vacation since 2 years ago, and I just wanted to let you know that I've listened to you on my way home from work practically every day, and I wanted to let you. I wish you could meet my dad, 30 years in the Marine Corps, retired Sergeant Major Leon Smethers.
Wow, cool.
I was born down in Camp Pendleton. Went to school at El Toro, 29 Palms. We shot across to Camp Lejeune.
Oh man,
we came back to Reno, Nevada, and after I got out of high school, one of my favorite things we used to do, me and my friends, we would pull off McCarran Boulevard and go out through a high desert. And have you ever been to northern Nevada?
No, I've been. The closest I got was 29 Palms. Man, there's nothing there but sand. I mean, talk about wilderness. Oh my God.
I know. But, I kind of love that area. My grandpa used to call me a desert rat. But up in northern Nevada, outside of Palomino Valley, if you just go boonie thrashing through the high desert, you will find packs of wild Mustangs.
Oh, sweet.
And man, one of the things we used to do is just sit out on a ridge, and there was a small water source that we could find Mustangs. And at one time, only one time I remember, 2 Mustangs got on their hind legs and started rubbing necks together and stuff. And I realized, you know what, man? I've lived a pretty good life at the age of 51 after seeing that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe, someday you ought to get out there and go check
That's
that
a great.
out.
In fact, I could watch wild horse. In fact, I've seen wild packs of horses in the Dakotas and Montana. But I love what, of course, as you know, I'm a horse person, and I love to see what horses do when they're interacting when no one's around and they're just being themselves. You really learn a lot about human nature watching the animal nature. Anyway, I learn something every day.
It was just a great time, and I just wanted to call you, and you know, just like everybody else, we're going to miss you.
I appreciate it, Mitchell. Thanks, man. And we're something will happen. We're not gone forever. Maybe. Maybe. Here's Tom. Newsmaker Line's coming up. Hello, Tom. You didn't get it there, Pete. Hold on. Wild horse. Oh, my God. Oh, you and your production. Wow. You don't get this kind of thing everywhere, do you? Hey, here's Tom. You're on the radio. How's it going, man?
Hey, Kimmer, how you doing?
We're doing great.
It's been a long time. 2006, I called in when my daughter was on the bus on the way to Paris Island, and she's back okay. I got a grandson, everything's good and all that, but I just wanted to say that you may be gone from this, but you're not going to be forgotten.
Well, I appreciate
anybody. And this weekend we had our big M1 Garand match at Riverbend. It's got to be the best match south of Camp Perry.
No kidding. And, wow, cool.
Well, to my squad, the scores and everything else, I said, I'm dedicating this to the Kim Peterson show. And they all knew what I was talking about. That's the point.
Oh, and, man. Wow.
So, shot a good aggregate, and I just want to say that the humor's going to be gone. I mean, unless you can, find another gig. And I know you will. You're a stand-up Marine. You'll land on your feet, and we're looking out for all of you.
Tom, I appreciate Semper Fi, man. What a very nice thing to say. 402. We'll be somewhere, I promise. Hold on, there's the Newsmaker Line. Speaking of being happy and funny, here's he was on the old Newsmaker Line, Pete. Good afternoon.
Hello, who is this?
It's Charlton Heston.
Don't you know it's a holiday, you telemarketing bastard? My aluminum siding is fine. Leave me the hell alone. And besides, we're all mourning the loss of the great Ken Starr. You know, the first man to come across the infamous blue dress.
The second. No, it was the wrong Starr, sir.
I was telling Mrs. Heston, Bart Simpson was too young to die. I'm sure Marge and Homer are about beside themselves to lose Bart Simpson at such a
Bart
young
Simpson.
age. I said,
wasn't.
I'm not surprised that fat load Star Jones bought the farm. Star was a heart attack waiting to happen.
Star Jones, sir. Who
was it?
It was Bart Starr, the famous Packer football.
That's completely different. Why didn't you stop me, you son of a...
Sorry, it's my fault.
Well, I understand that they're going to delay Bart's burial till December.
Delay till December?
Well, his lifelong dream was to be buried under the frozen tundra of John Fusenda. Bart Starr. There's no R's in those two names.
Bart Starr.
Bart Starr, yes. Let me park my car. I'm John Fusenda. Yeah, not a lot of calls for that. Did I ever tell you about the day I told my wife that we decided not to have any kids?
No, I didn't even hear about that.
Let me tell you, our kids took it pretty badly. We just dumped it out there. We don't want you anymore. Go fend for yourself.
You moved and didn't tell them, that's all.
Hey, did I tell you that my next door neighbor started making sex videos?
Making sex videos?
They don't know it yet.
Wait till they find out.
Right. Well, the bad news at the Indy 500 drivers Graham Rahal and Sebastian Bourdais collided with each other, which is 20 laps to go, Mr.
20 laps to go, collide, yeah.
The good news is finally an Indy crash that couldn't be blamed on Danica Patrick. She was up in the booth, and I understand that Aaron Rodgers was in a booth, too. So.
Glory be.
He had no interest in the race because Jim Nabors isn't there to sing Back Home in Indiana anymore.
Back home in Indiana.
I didn't realize that Pornhub had an Alabama section.
An Alabama section?
I keep saying show more related videos. Realized that they were. Did I ever tell you about one of the most memorable days of my life?
No, sir. Please share it with us.
Well, you brought it up. Memorial Day.
What your memorable day was, sir?
It was the day I stood there yelling, it's a boy. Tears were streaming down my face, Mr. Hess.
Wow, that's great.
It was at that precise moment I vowed never to visit Thailand again.
What a surprise!
Always. The remaining shows.
It's almost over now. Man. 407, how you doing? It's only me, it's only the Kimmer. Memorial Day, God bless America. Here's Mike on the old Almost Gone 1067. Hello, Mike, what's up?
Hey, Kimmer, how you doing today?
Doing great, man. Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
I've been trying to get in touch with you for two memorial years to tell you a story about my uncle, who was my dad's brother. My dad was in the Air Force. He was a career pilot, and my uncle was in the 101st Airborne that dropped behind enemy lines 6 hours before D-Day.
Wow. Oh, man.
And, about 10 years ago, I got an email from a family over in Belgium, and they had been digging in their garden and found my uncle's dog tags.
Is that right?
They took a picture of the dog tags, and they managed to find my name and look me up and contact me and ask me if I wanted these dog tags to give to my uncle. And I asked my uncle if he wanted them, but he wasn't interested in getting them back.
No kidding. Yeah, it probably didn't matter after all that, but those pretty humble folks back then, just doing their job for their country.
Oh yeah, because he was in the Battle of the Bulge, and that's where he lost his dog tags. And
I'll be darned.
That was something else. But he was quite a guy. He was wounded twice, and he was wounded right after he parachuted into behind enemy lines, but he was hit in the arm, so he field dressed himself, and then about a week later he got shot again, but he lived.
Wow.
He was quite a hero.
Yeah, they saved our planet. They saved our planet, literally.
Yeah.
Nothing like them.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Great
Mike,
generation.
Great story, man. Thank you. Semper Fi, and I hope you have a memorable Memorial Day. It's already been pretty memorable to me so far. 409. On the old Memorial Day 1067. 404-741-1067. 404-741-1067. Coming up, some of the remembrances from the Civil War itself. Also, you know what? We're going to play the Red Skelton's Pledge of Allegiance. And at some point, I'm going to play the part of the Star Spangled Banner with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir where they go up real high at the end. I'm going to get all that stuff in here for you today. 409 on the old Almost Gone 1067.
Shannon Burke, weekdays 9 to noon.
Try to let anyone do. No matter what we're talking about, it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter.
You want to see Shannon's opinion of the spotted newt mating behavior? Does he prefer it in the summer or the spring? Spotted newt, yeah, I got two of them. Thanks, I'll hold. I want to know what Shannon thinks about air pressure in a 285 R16-inch tire performance. I'll hold.
The new Talk 1067, where Atlanta comes to talk.
410 here with a Kimmer. 404-741-1067. 404-741-1067. Saluting Quick Weight Loss Center. Quick Weight Loss Center with us right up to the very end. I can't tell you how grateful I am for their sponsorship for all these years. Almost 30 years since I went to the Quick Weight Loss Center the first time. And like most, I'd done every diet there is. I mean, and I used to work out a lot just to run 12 miles a day, all that stuff. And then I had cancer, and then one thing, whatever, boom, boom, boom.
This is Bernie Sanders.
Burn.
This portion of our show is brought to you by a jellyfish
and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Jellyfish and Bang Bang Stupidio.
Name 2 things that can survive without a brain. And now, here's your host, the Kimmer.
It's Memorial Day, 4:15. On the Almost Gone 106.7. Elaine and Robert, be right with you. But every year, I read these, not often always on the radio, but to myself, to think about what the conditions must have been like in the Civil War, after which this holiday, or this commemorance, was actually begun. This is a letter from a fellow named Sullivan Ballou to his wife, July 14th, 1861. I'm just going to read a little part of it. Indications are, my very dear wife, that strong we shall move in a few days, perhaps tomorrow. Lest I should not be able to write you again, I feel compelled to write a few lines that may fall under your eye when I shall be no more. Sarah, my love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me with mighty cables that nothing but omnipotence can break. And yet my love of country comes over me like a strong wind and bears me irresistibly on with all those chains to the battlefield. The memories of all the blissful moments I have spent with you come crowding over me, and I feel most deeply grateful to God and you that I have enjoyed them so long. And how hard it is for me to give them up and burn to ashes the hopes of future years, when, God willing, we might still have lived and loved together and seen our boys grow up to honorable manhood around us. I know I have but few claims upon divine providence, but something whispers to me, perhaps it is the wafted prayer of my little Edgar, that I shall return to my loved ones unharmed. If I do not, my dear Sarah, never forget how much I love you, nor that, when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, it will whisper your name. That was the way they wrote love letters in 1861. And there's more. I'll do some more later. I mean, just think about it. Think of what he said. Part of the earlier letter, he says, there are 2,000 men around me now, and most of us probably will not see another day after tomorrow. Enjoying their last breath before death. Man. 417. Well, we're celebrating Memorial Day, and with good thoughts and remembrances and our appreciation for all those who make it possible for us to be here today. 417. Here's Elaine, and Robert's coming up. Elaine, hi, welcome. It's nice to have you aboard. How's it going?
Hey, it's going great. How's it going there?
We're doing terrific, given everything. We got 4 more days of a career. Other than that, we're doing fine.
I know. I hate it here. I love you guys. I'm going to miss you, but I'm going to listen to podcasts, whatever you're on.
We'll do something. We'll do something. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, what I was calling about was you mentioned Coast Guard.
Yeah.
And then flipping around in the boat and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm kind of nervous. I'm out of breath.
That's all right. Take your time. You know, in fact, I'll tell you this. When the last time I've called radio station before, it's been a long time, but I've done it for whatever reasons. When I am calling a radio station, when even if I've been a Sean or a Shannon Burke show or somebody, I get the same. I get short of breath. It's hard. I'm kind of catching my breath. I mean, and I'm supposed to be a professional. I mean, there's something about it. So don't feel bad at all. Just take your time, take a breath, and take as long as you want.
Okay, well, thanks. Well, like I say, my son-in-law was in Coast Guard. He's out now. He was in Washington State.
Uh-huh.
It was exactly where they were, that they were doing that training. And it sounded to me, and I didn't know it. Of course, I didn't do it, but they actually he took a picture, or somebody took a picture. They did a video. They actually strapped themselves on the very top of this boat, and it's maybe 4 or 5 guys. I don't know, but they're all strapped on. They've got all just, and it's super cold up there,
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they absolutely turned the boat completely around. It just reminds me of a little toy, when they won't fall down, whatever.
Oh, boy, we're losing you.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're going in a tunnel or something.
Okay, sorry, I'm going to go back. Maybe my phone's dying.
Okay.
They go completely upside down. They're harnessed on there, and they don't come off of the boat because they're harnessed on. So anyway, he had a video of that, and he did that, and he actually did save some people. And I tried to get him to call, but he wouldn't call. So
well, he's a lifesaver. He's a Coast Guardsman. That's what they do. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great story.
Really cool.
Elaine, thank you. You did great, by the way. Thank you, Semper Fi and the Semper Paratus, and to your special son-in-law. 420. Hold on there, Robert, and Flying Brian's all standing by here.
No to kiss, no to kiss, no to kiss.
She
no
was
kiss
beautiful.
Right? What did I know? She was beautiful. I wanted to kiss her.
You know, I'm still mad about that. That was $40. 420. And, yeah, it's only me. Your call's coming up in Newsmaker Line saying Civil War and Memorial Day, the old We're Gone 106.7.
Oh my, this is George Takei.
George.
And this portion of our show is brought to you by UPS, FedEx, and Cory Booker.
Yeah, UPS and FedEx are great.
Name 3 people with an eye on your package. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
I hope everyone it's Memorial Day, 424. And an oorah to all as we pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, because we will not forget. 404-741-1067. 404-741-1067.
What do you have against the Army?
I like the Army.
You played the Marine Corps him twice.
I'm a Marine. Why? What do you think? I played the Army. Didn't I play the Army? I haven't played the Army yet. Well, here you go, Mr. Kason.
I know you don't like me, but
No. I've never had a problem. You know, I mean, obviously Marines are better than all the other services, and we all know that. But, you know. Anyway.
We used to have a bunch of Marines come out to Fort Knox to train on the tanks.
Yeah.
Talk about getting some drunken mess.
Oh, yeah. Well, hell, yeah. That's our job. It's really required. I'm sorry. 425. To the phones, here's Robert on the old Almost Gone 106.7. Hello, Robert. How's it going?
Hey, Semper Fi, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Hoorah.
Hoorah. Going on your boot camp memories a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yes, several years after you had went through, I graduated in February 9th of 1990.
Oh, a new Marine.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I was still in the woodlands. We ain't went digital yet.
Yeah.
You know, so, but the very last day, on February 9th, me and a buddy, we were sent to the chow hall, you know, to go early so that way you can come back to be gear guards while everybody else goes to the
right. Yeah.
And, you know, you get your head shaved every week, except for that last week.
Right.
You get that little peach fuzz left on top of your head.
Right.
Just enough where you can feel it. And camis, starch, pressed. I mean, you can shave with them.
Oh, yeah.
You're like mirrors. You know, your cover's blocked and squared away. And we're in there. You know, there's just 2 of us. And we had a receiving company. Had just got there like 2 hours earlier. So they were still in civilian clothes. They did have the head shaved, and the drill instructor is, look at them, look! They're going to be leaving my island in a couple hours. You just got here. Look, quit looking. You don't deserve to look. Quit looking at them. You know?
Yeah, they separated the new ones from the old timers, that's for sure. Well, anyway, Semper Fi, man, there's a lot of memories. And unfortunately, we don't have time for any more of them. It's been tremendous. No, there's a million. I was thinking, you know, honestly, all this morning when I was up, I didn't sleep much, and I was, you know, on days like this, I really do remember all the goofy, weird things and stuff. Anyway, 427. It's all good. Flying Brian joining us on Memorial Day. Hello, Flying Brian. How's it going?
Good, Kimmer. Semper Fi. Welcome home.
Thank you, sir. What's up? Yes, sir.
Firstly, and most importantly, God bless all those that gave their lives so we could all be free.
Yes, sir. Semper Fi.
Just a side note real quick. The guy called earlier and told you the first memory he had of hearing you.
Yeah.
And that brought back me remembering back in the early 90s. I think the first time I heard you all in the same day, you played Leslie Dove and the Christmas song "Walking Around in Women's Underwear." I'm like, what the hell is this guy?
Yeah, that's it.
I'll be honest with you. My jobs have taken me to 22 different states, and I listen to radio all around. And there's nothing compares to what you and Pete and Gossett do. Y'all are always original, topical, and hilarious. And there's just nothing any better than you guys, and it's quite an accomplishment.
Well,
I want to congratulate you for that.
Well, thanks. Obviously, you're a minority of one, Flying Brian, because it's not like the phone's ringing off the hook. You know?
I understand that, but man, I gotta say, I don't do Twitter, but Pete's tweets is just so funny.
He's the best in every way. He's a great talk show host. He does podcasts, tweets. He does. Hold on. Speaking of, oh my God, see, we got all these tweets, and Flying Brian might as well put the nail on the old head here with a thing we call Pete's tweets.
Bob says, "Fork you and the newsmaker." I was taking the last hit off my Marlboro, and y'all made me laugh so hard I sucked the damn thing in and burnt my friggin' tongue. Oh. Esther 2. We got 2 Esthers now, so this is Esther
double
2.
Esthers. Excellent.
I have to work Friday during the show. Will the final show be accessible afterwards?
What do you mean accessible?
Not. Well, how long will the
that's a good question.
I think the website goes dead at 7 p.m.
So no more after that.
I don't think so.
The last show will not be replayed then.
I'll be darned.
All right. Lucas says, I'm currently at the Goodwill store in Marietta. The song in the radio contained a riveting marimba solo, and I thought of you, the Kimmer. Chris says, Norman Wishman died in 2013.
He was one of the guys, he was always in the newspaper, in the editorial columns, and it was Norman Wishman, and we used to blast him all because he was strange, but he was a regular.
Joanne says, Kimmer, we are sad you will be leaving us. We would like to offer you one of our German Shepherds. Let us know your preference of a male or female, Mark and Joanne, and their German Shepherds are related to Rin Tin Tin.
Well, my direct descendant was of Rin Tin Tin, my dog Heidi.
Yeah.
My back in the 60s was the direct descendant of Rin Tin Tin.
If you want.
Wow, I want about 10 dogs, honestly. I've missed
Let's all get
dogs.
a farm together, a commune.
I miss my dog.
Yesterday's race day, so I figured I'd go give me a burger and stuff like that. I go to Five Guys, and I'm like the first guy there. It's kind of sad.
Really?
I got number one. I've
oh my
had
God.
Number one, everything. If you ain't first, you're last, Kimmer.
Well,
it's race day, as they say.
Yeah,
so I put it up here. What I got a hot dog, and she goes, "What do you want on it?" It was like, the varsity. She yells at me, "What do you want?" So I panicked. I said, "Ketchup, mustard." I don't know.
Sorry.
So it says ketchup, mustard, hot dog, little fry, and a milkshake, chocolate. The bill comes out to $14.37.
$14 for a hot dog and a milkshake?
Yeah, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
that can't be right.
Yeah, $5.49 for the hot dog, $3.69 for the little fries, and which are big fries, and $5.19 for the milkshake. I'm telling you what, it's really good. I don't know if it's $15 worth.
Holy moly!
But
now I haven't been to a place for a hot dog and a fry and a milkshake in a long time. I guess I don't realize the prices.
$15 if you go there for a cheeseburger and fries.
Holy mackerel!
$6 at Sonic.
But you get a lot. It's much better than Sonic, though.
Five Guys is supposed to be spectacular.
It's much better. So I got a few responses. You would think that I had basically skewered a baby by putting ketchup. People, it's not a broth.
Hey, I eat ketchup on hot dogs. It's meat.
You can put ice cream on a hot dog. It's not a broth.
Yeah,
broth you only get mustard on. But anyway, Gina says, "Hey, I friggin' love them, but I ain't paying that much." And Dave says, "Ketchup, blasphemy, egads." Catherine says, Team Ketchup. Lee says, if you ever have a chance to try a Colombian dog, they yummy. Grilled pineapple, mashed up potato chips, and cilantro mayonnaise.
No, stop. You're killing me. Hold on. Is that the newsbreaker line? Hold everything. Let's see what's on the old newsbreaker line. Good afternoon.
That's your bear. That's my bear. Hey,
Harry. Yeah, Harry, how's it going, man? How are you?
Well, it's kind of a sad note up in Boston. Did you see that Bill Buckner died?
Bill Buckner died, the first baseman, famous. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to serve at the wake. Butterfingers? His honor.
Ball went through his legs, remember?
Yeah, it's a shame Buckner couldn't be more like Cory Booker, the senator from New Jersey.
Well, what do you mean by that, sir?
Well, when's the last time Cory ever let any balls get by him? There's already talk of placing a Pardo-John over Bill Buckner's grave.
Over his grave? Really? What?
Well, considering all the Red Sox fans who are lined up to urinate on it, you want to have a little ardor going when you're doing stuff like that, Well, it's good to see the Cubs are off to a great start.
Yeah, Cubs.
Hell, most of the years I did them, the Cubs spent so much time in the basement, you'd think they were, John Wayne Gacy's house guest. Is it true you wanted a clown for your birthday and your parents brought in John Wayne Gacy?
Hi, kids.
Jump in the hefty bag. Let's see what happens.
Jump in a hefty bag.
No.
Just happen to have 8 or 10 of them here on the truck.
Yeah. Holy cow, it's biodegradable. We didn't even know you were there. I'm just spitballing you, getting ready for the new non-show or whatever.
Yeah, God.
Hey, did I ever tell you back in the 80s when I was doing the Cubs games that Kevin Spacey was offered a tryout with the Chicago Cubs?
He was offered a tryout with the Cubs? Wow.
Yeah, they couldn't get him to leave the minors. Everybody, I'll be here all God blessed week, unfortunately, Hey, I'm not surprised Cumulus included the No Talk 106.7 in their sale to the fake Christians,
You're not surprised, really?
Well, as the only profitable station of the 6, you're making the rest of the chain start to look bad, especially when the new company mission statement is revenue schmevenue, As long as we get rid of those conservatives, we don't even care if we go back into Chapter 11. It's not our money,
It's not our money.
It's time for Hairneck.
Hairneck, the magnificent, sir.
The answer is a hot grounder.
A hot grounder.
What did the FAA call John Denver's airplane?
Oh, God. The man's dead.
I forgot to do that one when John Denver fan, Matter of fact, his favorite bar food is smoked wings.
Smoked wings, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God.
The answer is the crack of a bat.
The crack of the bat.
What might you see when Jane Fonda bends over? The answer is a pop fly.
A pop fly.
What could you find in a Pop-Tart at the Landmark Diner? I hold in my hand the final
last one. Okay.
May you go to a Braves home game only to discover that Belinda Skelton is singing in the 7th inning. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever do.
Oh, man.
Kill me now, for God's sake. The answer is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Describe Lance Armstrong with 2 strikes. You didn't see that one coming off the freeway. Oh, wait, come on, get right here in the head.
Hey, kid, try on these handcuffs.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's play Spaceman on the refrigerator.
Thanks, Harry. Oh, man. 4:37. Look out. Arnie's coming up. It's only the Kimmer on the Almost Out of Here 106.7.
And this portion of our show is brought to you by Ludlow Ford, who reminds you to call your mama this weekend and ask if you can move in a spare bedroom because you got fired by Cumulus. And now, here's your host, the Kimmer.
Thank you. 4:41 on the Almost Gone 106.7. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 4:41 on Memorial Day. 404-741-1067 is the number, 1067. This was the day in 1942 Doris Miller, a cook aboard the USS West Virginia, became the first African American to receive the Navy Cross for displaying extraordinary courage and disregard for his own personal safety during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Doris Miller was a guy. He was a black American, the first one to receive the Navy Cross, which is second only to the Medal of Honor for heroism. 1942 was the attack on Pearl Harbor. By the way, 1933, Walt Disney's animated short, The Three Little Pigs, was first released. 1933. Look at 442 on the old, hold on, there's line 3 on the old No Talk 1067. Is this Jennifer?
Hi, Dad.
Hi, sweet girl. How's it going?
I have a surprise for you.
You do?
2, 3.
Happy Memorial Day.
She's got the crew over there, Brady and Molly. Hi, guys. How's it going?
We're good. Thank you for your service.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's very sweet. And you don't miss a Veterans Day or a Memorial Day or anything like that. And I always treasure your kind words and thoughts, sweetie. How you doing? How the kids doing?
They're good. They're good. How are you?
Hi, sweetie. There's little Molly. Hi, Molly and Brady. Brady, I've got another baseball I'm going to send you, I think. And Molly, how's your horseback riding? Have you been riding lately?
No. I started a new place, and I don't know when I'm doing the ride now. I have to get done with swimming.
Oh, good. Well, that'll be fun. I know you're going to a new stable, and that'll be really fun because that's nearby, too. And Brady, how you doing, buddy? Are you playing golf yet, Brady?
We lost Brady.
Oh, we did. He's got stuff to do.
500 on DVR, so.
Oh, boy.
Hard to keep his attention.
Well, and how you doing, sweetie? How's it going?
We're good. Molly and I are getting ready to play bingo.
My
favorite.
Boy. Wow.
And we're surrounded by Molly's beautiful horses, which also is my favorite.
Excellent. Well, sweetie, thank you for calling, and I'm glad you're with the kids. I guess her mom and Dan are down in Peru or something for a little trip,
yeah.
Huh? Wow.
Yeah, so Mom has them for the whole week, I believe.
Wow. Excellent. Yeah. Well, sweetie, I love you. Have a great day off. And again, as you know, remembering the reason for the day, as you always do. And I'm glad you called. I love you. I'm so proud of you. And keep the faith. Keep
all
smiling.
Right, we love you.
I love you, sweetie. Say hi to give them big hugs for me.
I will.
Thanks, sweetie. Right, 444.
Right.
Thanks, sweetie. Right, take care. 444. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Those little kids. 444. To the phones. Here's Arnie. David's coming up. Hello, Arnie. You're on the radio. How's it going?
Hey, Kimmer. I attended 2 memorial services today, one in Sonoy and one in Peachtree City. Now, one in Peachtree City, they had a speaker that made the Marines proud today. He was a 13-year-old Vietnamese boy, and he was right there on Highway 1. On his birthday was on the day that offensive started.
Wow.
He turned 13, and right outside his window was all the action going on, and he made it through. He survived, but he was thanking the Marines for coming up there, and he was really excited about the Marines helping him out there. Reason he survived.
Wow.
So, he made the Marines proud today there in Peachtree City. And, of course, we had the Marine Honor Guard also presented the flag and all that.
Outstanding. Man, I mean, it gives me chills just thinking about it, especially the 13-year-old Vietnamese kid on Highway 1, and all hell breaks loose, and he's saluting the Marines. Man, that's why I joined the Marines, because that's how people back then at least used to think.
He even commented on the fact that he saw a tank, 3 Marines got shot at the tank, but then he said, later on he commended them. The Marines came back and never left anyone behind, as it goes. So, it was quite a speech, and it was very emotional.
Excellent. Arnie, Semper Fi, my friend. Thank you for what you did today in honor of those who made the ultimate sacrifice. 446. Here's David. David, the Candyman, Helen, Georgia. And man, that's some sweet candy. In fact, I've distributed pretty much all of it, and everybody is thrilled. Thanks, man. It was a great treat.
I don't do that for their claim. I'm too old for that now. But it's good to hear those things. And I was trying to listen. I think you probably mentioned it someplace. And unfortunately, we lost a brother this last week, and so funeral arrangements and all messed up my week.
Oh yeah, we definitely mentioned it.
Yeah. we had several people come in Friday and Saturday asking to see me because they wanted to thank me for supporting the Kimmer. Because they heard you talking about the chocolate on the radio.
I'll be darned.
Pretty good.
Well, that's
but
very kind.
You know, aside from all there's more to things. And although we're busy today, of course, there's more to a holiday like this than business. It's good to have somebody like you who put a respectful meaning to it all. You know.
Well,
you were there. I was not in the Marines. I was a Army Security Agency, which was support troops. And I only spent 2 months in Vietnam, but I spent 2 years in Thailand, and it was, it was. I was a sheltered boy when I went in at 20 years old. I came out a little different, but
yeah, you and me both, my friend.
Not in a bad way. I came out in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
But I had to say this Charlton Heston piece was maybe one of the funniest newsmaker lines ever.
Well, he talks himself all. I mean, it's unbelievable. And as soon as he calls us, "Hello, who is this?" I start laughing because I mean, it's just I can't help it.
Don't know where he's going to go. You know, it's incredible. But he can do those shows that you do forever.
Yeah, I know.
News, you know, there's so many things you can do. I feel certain you'll land someplace because there's just too many things out there right now that are important to just let these fall by the wayside. And all these characters have to have a place to go.
We'll see.
Every Wednesday Susan, every Friday Susan, Jamie. You know, it's a crazy bunch of people.
David, thanks, man. I appreciate the kind gift and the nice words too. Oh, sweetness, Bill. I didn't even do anything. Oh, crap. You don't get to tell me what I can do with my Maybe I just like to play with it. I just like to look at it and say, oh, boy, that's a great looking... Hold on a minute. Sweetness, Bill. Hey, Pete.
What?
I was having a lovely sleep earlier today, and then some woman decided to bounce off my windshield. Hey, Pete.
What?
My wife asked me if I would change our 1-month-old son. I said, no, I like the one we have. Hey, Pete.
What?
It's amazing how quickly the sales staff at IKEA come to assist you once you take off your pants and get into one of their beds.
Uh-oh.
We help you, sir. All right, here's one more, Pete. Speaking of the sports, coming up in about half an hour. The English soccer team visited an orphanage in Poland today. Quote, again, this is the English soccer team visiting an orphanage in Poland.
I bet it was Manchester United.
Quote, it was amazing to put a smile on the faces of a group of people who constantly struggle and have little hope, said Jan Samoyski, age 6.
I have no idea what that joke means.
The kid felt sorry for the English soccer team.
Because they never win the big game.
As nice as she put a smile on your face, said the little boy when he made these things.
Just not used to a Polish joke with the Polish guy not being the punchline.
Well, there you are. 449. By the way, the story of John Stith Pemberton, a Confederate lieutenant colonel, served in the defense of Columbia, Georgia during the Battle of Columbus. During the battle, John Stith Pemberton received a nasty saber wound on his chest. It led to a morphine addiction. In an effort to cure the morphine addiction, Pemberton formulated an early version of what he called French wine coca. If he had not been injured, he wouldn't have gotten addicted to morphine. Without the addiction, we wouldn't have what today we know as Coca-Cola. Sadly, back then, morphine addiction was very common, wounded Civil War veterans. Pemberton figured if he could come up with something to cure him of the addiction, he'd sell a whole bunch of it. There was a hugely popular French medicinal drink at the time. It was wine with coca leaf, which is cocaine. And Pemberton launched his own version, but instead of the wine, he put cola nut for caffeine and a powerful aphrodisiac called Damiana, in addition to coca leaves, and he called it Pemberton's French wine coca. It was so popular here in Atlanta that it was sold in every drugstore in the city. In 1886, the city of Atlanta enacted legislation that brought about prohibition, so all of a sudden Coca-Cola was illegal. So to create a temperance drink, he added coca leaves and cola nuts, but he needed somebody to deliver a drink that people would enjoy, so he put sugar syrup instead of the wine and made the base syrup for the drink, and it became a fountain drink with carbonated water, trying to get around the alcoholism in 1886. Pemberton's friend Frank Robinson came up with a catchy new name, and in May 8th, 1886, the first Coca-Cola was sold at Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta, Georgia. Pemberton sold his ownership in his secret formula. He died in 1888, no longer had any stake in the company. A few years later, an Atlanta druggist named Asa Candler bought all the partners out and had complete control of Coca-Cola. Using his business acumen and aggressive marketing, it launched to the #1 brand in the world. But if John Stith Pemberton hadn't been wounded in the Battle of Columbus, Georgia in 1885, we wouldn't have had Coca-Cola. 452.
If a chicken can play America the Beautiful, why the hell can't a millionaire football player stand and put his hand over his heart and play a little respect for America? Get on your feet!
452. It's only the Kimmer Memorial Day on the Almost Gone 106.7.
This is Morgan Freeman, and this portion of our show is brought to you by the Kimmer's voicemail.
You have no messages.
And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
456 on Memorial Day. And we do this every once in a while, and since we won't be here for the 4th of July, which we normally do none, I bring to you now one of our favorites from many, many years ago, Red Skelton, explaining to his TV audience, when was this, 1959 maybe, something like that? I don't think we ever really knew. Red Skelton describing to his audience how he learned about the Pledge of Allegiance.
I remember a teacher that I had. Now, I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. And I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. This is true. I work in the summer and I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher. He was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little old teacher, Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell. And he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester. And it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity, allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together. States. Individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose. All divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose. And that's love for country. And to the Republic. A state in which sovereign power is invested in representative chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people. And it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life, without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all. Which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance: under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer, and that would be eliminated from schools too?
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of right. Ready on your dog. Target. If I die in a combat zone, box me up and ship me on the horizon. Put my medals up on my chest. Tell my mother I did my best. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. The old Almost Gone 106.7. Memorial Day. Say a prayer of thanks. God bless him. God bless him. 404-741-1067. 404-741-1067. Nice to have you with us. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Memorial Day. Started because of the Civil War dead. And now, of course, it applies to all those who have given their lives in service to the country and the military. 502, let's call it here, on the old Almost Gone 106.7. I read earlier a part of a letter from Major Sullivan Ballou to his wife. And I have just another paragraph to kind of this is just amazing to me, the way Civil War era Americans would write. The word, it's just hard to understand how powerful this must have been then in the circumstances. He writes to his wife, Sarah, "My dear wife, when I know that with my own joys I lay down nearly all of yours and replace them in this life with care and sorrows, when after having eaten for long years the bitter fruit of orphanage myself, I must offer it as her only sustenance to my dear little children. Is it weak or dishonorable while the banner of my purpose floats calmly and proudly in the breeze, that my unbounded love for you, my darling wife and children, should struggle in fierce, though useless, contest with my love of country? I cannot describe to you my feelings on this calm summer night when 2,000 men are sleeping around me, many of them enjoying the last, perhaps before that, of death. And I, suspicious that death is creeping behind me with his fatal dart, am communing with God, my country, and thee. Sarah, if the dead can come back to this earth and flit unseen around those they loved, I shall always be near you in the garish day, with the darkest night amidst your happiest scenes and gloomiest hours, always, always. And if the soft breeze fans your cheek, it shall be my breath, or the cool air cools your throbbing temples, it shall be my spirit passing by. Sarah, do not mourn me, dear. Think I am gone. And wait for me, for we shall meet again." Major Sullivan Ballou, July 14th, 1861. 1 week later, he was dead in the first battle of Bull Run. 504... You just want to say it, don't you? No, you just want to say, I made it up, it's a lie, no. It was all crap, it was just a nonsense. But
no, I don't think the mic's on. Anyway.
Yeah, yours on. What?
So he's going to haunt her to her dying day.
How in the hell could you find anything negative about that?
Well, he puts it in her head, no matter where you are and what you're doing, even if it's with the new guy, I'm going to be there.
You can, if the wind whispers across your face, it's my dying breath. What's wrong with that? Torment the poor woman.
The poor woman. She's young. She might want to marry again.
Well, hey, nix on you, mister. I don't want anybody else to have her. 5:05. You heartless bastard! Here's Rainey on the old Almost Gone 106.7. Hello, Rainey. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Just wanted to tell you a little story being an old Marine like you.
Yes, sir.
I got this weird name, Rainey, from an uncle of mine who I never met, but he died a hero in World War II, and they give him a Bronze Star and all that, and they launched a destroyer in his name.
Wow, excellent.
And anyhow, after 2 tours in Vietnam, and my father a Marine, my brother a Marine, I wanted to tell you the thing that I thought was the worst thing in Paris Island.
All right.
Sand fleas.
Oh, man. Yeah, and if you're standing at attention in the summertime, and if you move, you're screwed. And these things are eating every square inch of your body. Yeah, it's definitely a discipline challenge. That's for sure.
I went up to Atlanta National Cemetery up here in Canton.
Yeah, the Georgia National Cemetery. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my grandson, and he's buried there, but it just was an emotional day.
Yeah, I'll bet. Rainey, Semper Fi, my friend. God bless America, and hoorah, guarding the gates of heaven. 5:06. How about a newsmaker line? Should we do a little newsmaker line here? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kimmer. It's Peter Griffin calling. How you doing?
Hey, Peter, great, man. How you doing?
Well, I was shocked to see a Frenchman win the Indianapolis 500 yesterday.
Yeah, French guy. I saw that, man.
I figured being from France, he would have surrendered the lead. Obviously, there were no German tanks on the track yesterday. Thank God he saw a checkered flag and not a white one.
No, checkered flag.
White one. Is this on good?
It's on now.
Now, the winner of the Indianapolis 500 from France, Simon Pagenaud, received a first prize check of $2.4 million.
Wow, $2.4 million.
Roughly half of what it cost to build the Burt Show's new studio.
It's a beauty.
Wise, he traveled all the way to Indianapolis to the Motor Speedway, but was denied admission, you know?
He was denied admission?
He couldn't get past that sign, you must be this tall or accompanied by a parent. They just sent him back up. I was saddened to learn of the death of NFL legend Bart Starr.
Bart Starr died, yeah.
Yeah, Bart came from a long-forgotten era when Green Bay quarterbacks had a real wife and children of their own. Not rent a girlfriend's hired to snuff out the John Ossoff gay rumors that Aaron Rodgers has had to endure, you know? Good to see Danica Patrick analyze a race she never completed yet. Yeah, never came close to completing, you know.
Had to practice her wrecks the weekend before.
Let me tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape.
Well, what happened to you, Peter?
Well, last week I told my wife Lois she needs to be more honest with me, so she stopped moaning. Hangman knows what I'm talking about up there, you know? I'm in here. Kevin Durant is upset with the idea the Warriors might be better off without him.
Without him, he's wondering. Wow.
Hey, it's not like since his injury they've won 6 playoff games in a row. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, hold on.
It's not like the best of the Kevin Durant show is replaced by Pete Davis every weekend. That's when you know for sure people are better off without you, you know?
Yeah, whatever happened to the Cameron, I wonder.
Great to be on the show.
Peter, thank you, Peter. 5:09 Sports is coming up next here on the old Kimmer program. 404-741-1067 is the number. Here we go. 5:09. Pete's coming up next. Ken, hold on a second. We got just taking your calls on Memorial Day, and you know this is our last week on the radio because they sold the station. So join us, have fun, and everything's good. Also, speaking of last week, again, I just want I can't tell you how grateful I am to the Quick Weight Loss Center. The most loyal sponsor I've ever had in, I can't want to tell you how many decades I've been in broadcasting. This is a terrific company. It's so easy to represent them because, well, it works. It's real. I mean, it's a successful program. And I proved it, and I prove it pretty much every day for almost 30 years now. Eating so much food and having fun and doing what I want and still eating everything I want to eat and going to parties and restaurants and stuff. I mean, real actual food, and nobody screaming at me, and nobody trying to embarrass me, and nobody sending me in a bag of something to drink for lunch and pretend I've had something to eat. Give me a break. The hardest part was when this almost 30 years ago, and I said, I don't want to try another diet. I've done all the diets, but I'm so glad I made that call. That's the hardest part. Make the call and then keep the appointment, and boom, all of a sudden, I mean, I lost, I think 7 or 8, I guess 6 or 7 or 8 pounds the first week, but I know people have lost 10, 12, 11 pounds the first week eating a lot of food. At the Quick Weight Loss Center, it also costs less and offers more for 44 years. Losing 100 pounds or more is guaranteed. More is guaranteed. No gimmicks, no exercise, no jumping jacks, no prepackaged meals, and nobody screaming at me in a cattle call. Plus, this week, lose weight for only $9 a week. All services included. Kids join free when parents sign up. Check out the conditions with a free consultation. Just tell them the Kimmer sent you, please, would you? Give Quick Weight Loss 5 minutes and save. And follow Quick Weight Loss on Facebook at Quick Weight Loss Centers, Georgia, and on Instagram at Quick Weight Loss Atlanta. Here's the number. 800-404-4050. 800-404-4050. Or click QWLC.com. That's QWLC.com.
This is your president for all Four Seasons garage and entry doors. Well, folks, the response here at the White House has been unbelievable. People cannot stop talking about Dan Watkins and his outstanding team. As a matter of fact, there's a phone call right now. Hello?
Mr. President, this is your favorite TV doctor calling. You know, a lot of people are going to go through another summer without an insulated garage door that could save them a fortune on their energy bills. What are they thinking?
Absolutely. All they have to do is call all Four Seasons garage and entry doors.
Right. Don't sit in a hot house paying more than you have to for energy. How's that working out for you?
Good point, Doc. It's no wonder that all Four Seasons garage and entry doors have received top ratings from Angie's List and Home Services Review. And they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau.
Kind of like your university?
Let's not go there. Visit the gallery today at allfourseasonsgarages.com.
This is Nicolas Cage, and this portion of our show is brought to you by my karaoke tribute to Prince. Afterwards, the mayor of L.A. gave me the off key to the city. She wore a raspberry beret. This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Purple rain, purple rain.
Oh, man.
Now here's your host, the Kimmer.
It was 1 year ago today that Danica Patrick ended her racing career at Indy 500 after crashing. How unusual. And now, sponsored by Apex Fence Company, one of the last holdovers of the sponsorships. It's Holy Crap at Sports with Pete Davis.
Some really sad stuff in the last 2 or 3 days in sports, and including today.
Yeah.
Bill Buckner, the longtime major leaguer whose era in the '86 World Series for years lived in Red Sox infamy, has died today. Battled the disease of Lewy body dementia, and he was just 69 years old.
Man.
His family says, our hearts are broken. We are at peace knowing he is in the arms of his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Buckner played 22 seasons in the majors, an all-star once, and won a batting title back in 1980. This guy was a really good hitter.
Yeah.
I remember the Dodgers and Cubs.
Yeah.
It was that ball, though, that went through his legs at Shea Stadium on October 25th of 1980, was it 85?
Yeah.
86.
No, 86, I think.
86, yeah. Yeah. It was a shocking moment there. I remember watching that on
Ray,
TV.
Ray Knight, not Jennifer Lopez, Nancy Lopez's husband was jumping down third base, waving his arms in the air. Couldn't freaking believe it. Yeah.
His Red Sox teammate said Buckner wasn't to blame, said Boston wouldn't even have been in this series without his efforts that season. Kind of like a Lonnie Smith situation. When that ball went through Bill's legs, hundreds of thousands of people did not just view that as an error. They viewed that as something he'd done to them personally, said Boston Globe columnist Bob Ryan at the time.
They roasted him.
Yeah, when he retired back in 1990, Buckner and his family remained in Massachusetts, but it got so bad from the fans and media that they forced him to move to Idaho, where he bought a ranch out there. But the Red Sox brought him back in a ceremony at Fenway Park in the 1986 team for the 20-year anniversary, and then it started to warm up after that. And after they won the World Series, it kind of warmed up after that.
That's a shame, though, of dementia, 69.
Your second-place Braves have a much-deserved and rare Memorial Day off after taking 2 out of 3 in St. Louis, including coming from a 3-0 deficit in the 9th inning last night on national television to beat the Cardinals in extra innings on a Brian McCann bases-loaded walk. The fourth-place Nationals in SunTrust Park tomorrow night. The Bravos haven't had Memorial Day off since Ronald Reagan was president. ATL Baseball Talk tweeted that teams trailing by 3 runs going into the 9th are now 3-423 this season.
Oh, my.
The Braves have 2 of those wins, 2 of the 3.
Holy smokes.
Also, and someone's pointed out on ESPN last night, of the last 10 years or so, the Braves have the best batting average against people's bullpens from the 7th inning on, basically.
I'll be darned.
Austin Riley's bat stays hot, his glove not so much. After having a few clank off it and jumping in front of center fielder Ronald Acuna a few too many times.
Yeah.
The left field excursion is still a work in progress, yet the Mississippi Masher, he's worth it.
He's an infielder for crying out loud.
I know, poor guy. In fact, Mark Bowman of MLB.com reports that the hardest hit balls coming off the bat of any major league player with at least 25 at-bats are coming off the bat of Mr. Riley.
He's really showing off, man.
Speaking of Mississippi, outfielder Drew Waters is raking down a Double-A Braves team. Has become a fan favorite, so much so fans in Pearl are chanting H2O, H2O every time Waters comes to bat. On this day when we remember...
I love minor league baseball, honestly, God.
We remember today those who fell in defense of our country. 2 baseball players come to mind. More than 500 major leaguers served during World War II, and 2 did not come back, Elmer Gideon and Harry O'Neill. Gideon was a 3-sport star at Michigan, an Olympic track star hopeful. Played 5 games for the Senators in 1939 with 3 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. His B-25 bomber crashed during a training exercise in North Carolina in 1942, and despite 3 broken ribs, he climbed back into the burning wreckage to try and save his buddies. After receiving skin grafts, Gideon returned to duty, shot down and killed piloting his B-26 bomber over France while bombing a V-2 rocket launching site. He was a member of the famous Bridge Busters group. There's been movies made about them.
Yeah.
Harry O'Neill was a catcher who caught only 1 game for the Philadelphia A's back in 39. Never got a chance to hit, though. O'Neill became a first lieutenant in the 4th Marine Division, fighting the Japanese on several Pacific islands, including Saipan, where he was wounded by shrapnel and hospitalized for weeks back here in the States. He returned to fight on Iwo Jima. He was in a deep crater in the Bloody Turkey Knob section of the island next to his friend, Private First Class Jamie Contis. Contis says they were standing shoulder to shoulder, looking over the terrain when a bullet pierced O'Neill's throat and spinal cord, killing him instantly.
Oh, man.
Standing right beside him.
Right next to him, yeah.
68 members of the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown are military veterans, 21% of all those in the Hall. 21%. Guess which war was the most participated in by Baseball Hall of Famers?
Which war of Baseball Hall of Famers? Korea, probably.
Nope. World War II had 36 of them. World War I had 27. Korean War, just 6. And one Hall of Famer actually fought in the war between the states. Morgan Bulkley was the owner of the Hartford Dart Blues and the first president of the National League. His forefather came over on the Mayflower. His father co-founded Aetna Insurance.
Holy smokes, what a history of family lore, wow.
By the way, Ted Williams, the only Hall of Famer to fight in 2 wars.
Yeah.
The state of Alabama.
And think of what he would have accomplished. He gave up like 5 years in his prime.
Yeah, and still hit over 500 homers. State of Alabama and football itself lost 2 giants over the weekend. Voice of the Auburn Tigers, Rod Bramblett, and his wife Paula were killed in a traffic accident in Auburn Saturday night. An Alabama native, Bramblett had worked for the Tigers since 1993, was the Sports Illustrated National Broadcaster of the Year in 2013. He was just 52, his wife 53. They leave behind a daughter and a son, both teenagers.
I think a 16-year-old hit him, going through a light or something and hit him, 16-year-old behind the wheel.
And Green Bay Packers legendary quarterback Bart Starr passed away yesterday at age 85. Starr had the perfect name for a star quarterback, but he wasn't one until almost being out of football. He sat on the bench as a senior for the Crimson Tide when they went winless. That's right, Alabama was winless in 1955.
Wow.
He was a 17th round pick only because the Bama basketball coach called the personnel director of the Packers and talked him into giving Bart a chance. Coach Vince Lombardi didn't like him at first, thought he was soft. But after winning just 1 game in 58, the Packers exploded under those 2 guys, won 5 NFL titles and the first 2 Super Bowls, with Bart Starr named the MVP of both of them. He was my Uncle Alan's favorite football player, and I hope they're having a conversation right now up there. He always was talking about Y.E. Tittle and Bart Starr.
Yeah.
And these 2 guys.
Those are the good old days, all right.
And kudos to the NASCAR crowd in Charlotte last night. Between heats of the Coca-Cola 600, a 30-second moment of silence was held to remember those fallen in war. I didn't hear one peep, not one drunk yelling Yahoo, not one sound during the entire half minute. It was incredible. How many people do you think were there? Well over 100,000?
No, at least. Yeah.
Easily. Not a peep.
Yeah.
It was, I've never heard that much quiet with that many people for something like that. There's always one drunk out there yelling, one Howard Stern fan yelling Baba Booey or something. And I don't know who was doing the play-by-play of the race, but timing is everything. While Jeff Gordon and Darrell Waltrip were laughing it up about the royal family playing polo and then playing Marco Polo in the pool, and Darrell's sitting there laughing, the play-by-play guy decides to launch into the solemn tribute for a dead general commemorating on the windshield of one of the drivers. Way to read the room, bub. It's not that he shouldn't have read the tribute, but the sudden change in the guffawing in the booth to dead, uncomfortable silence was a harder whiplash than Senior hitting the wall at Daytona. I mean, it was like, ha, ha, ha.
It's like when Clinton came out of the funeral service around him laughing and joking, and then he realized the cameras were on him. Whoopsie.
Oh, yeah, one more. Congrats to French driver Jean Girard for winning the Indy 500, the first Frenchman to do it since 1920.
Well, there
Jean Girard.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
No.
Oh, that's the guy from Talladega Nights. Sorry. It was Simon Pagenaud.
Pagenaud.
Is the winner. The first since, and you've heard this guy, Gaston Chevrolet won it in 1920.
The name of the guy named Chevrolet who founded the Chevrolet Motor Company. Well done, Pete. 5:23. Hold on, Marilyn and Christina and Round Earth and Ken all standing by here on the almost gone 1067.
Hi, this is Tom Browser.
Tom.
And this portion of our show is brought to you by the Democrat Party, where you can run for Congress and you don't even have to live in the state you're running in. What a deal. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
Yeah, she proved it all right. 5:26. We got a bunch of news break lines coming up here for you in a moment. Your calls be right with you. Let's call it 527. Here's the number, 404-741-1067, 1067. 404-741-1067. Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger is still going strong at 96. Remember actress Lee Merriweather, former Miss America, and was on Barnaby Jones.
And she was one of the Catwomen.
Catwomen. She's 84, Lee Merriweather. Ramsey Lewis and his trio. Ramsey's 84 today. Lou Gossett, the actor, 83. Adam Carolla's 55 years old. Crying out loud. Here we go. 527.
Lou was he mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise, yeah. Lou Gossett Jr. Well, he was also the chicken rooster, whatever it is, in Roots. Played the violin upside down or something, I think.
Chicken Jim?
Chicken George, maybe?
No, that was Ben Vereen.
Oh, hell, that's right. Well, what was Lou Gossett?
He did Iron Eagle.
No, an officer.
He did Officer and Gentleman. He was the Marine drill instructor for the Navy guys. But wasn't he also in Roots? He was a major thing in Roots.
Sure
I thought he did the upside down violin.
He wasn't Chicken George, though.
Well, I thought he did the upside down violin.
If only there was a magic.
The music box.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Confusing them?
I'm confusing myself. 528. All right, we got all these. Let's get all these calls. Here's Ken, and it's all coming. Hello, Ken. You on the radio? How's it going, man? What's up?
Hello, it's Tim. I'm sorry.
Tim, I'm sorry. My fault. Hello.
No problem. I'm just enjoying the day the heroes gave me, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for working today.
Yes, sir. Our honor.
I'll give you a quick story. I get off at the MARTA station off the train at North Avenue. They got a little shopping area there and kind of a food court. And, they play endless music from the 60s. It's great. There's good music. And Friday coming in, guess what song's on? CCR.
No kidding.
Yeah, man. And I just said, what the hell? So I started herping and hoeing. I figured, they're going to either throw me out of here or what. And the funny thing is I heard applause. I heard hoorahs.
Are you serious? This was at the MARTA. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, well, we got. Pete got you. Sorry, yeah, then we can't. He got it.
It was our correction line.
He was Fiddler in Roots.
Yeah, Fiddler. Yeah,
Fiddler.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and he played it like from his hip or something. It was something weird, if I remember correctly. He didn't never put it on his shoulder. He played it like an upside down.
I was like 14. I don't remember.
I was 5.
529. Anyway, Tim, sorry, man. We just certain words they had to go away. Round Earth Ray, we'll go right down the line there, Pete. 529. Hello, Round Earth Ray. How's it going?
Hey, y'all. Listen, that letter you read from the Civil War, that was that love letter. That was unbelievable how things were back then. It's almost like a better time, maybe except for the plague and stuff like that. But
yeah, slavery, Yeah.
These days, you got like 3-word text messages in these godforsaken emojis and stuff like that. But I'd like to give an example of what a love letter will be like these days.
All right, sir. Here's Round Earth Way right here.
Okay. Hey, ho, while I be gone, if you cheat on me, I'm going to come back, cut your windpipe. Word, Shontavious.
Okay. All right, then. All right, sir.
Bueller. Bueller.
All right.
Bueller.
Don't think he's
Bueller.
here. Oh, my God. 5:30. Got a news line coming up. Here's Marilyn, the pro blackjack player. Hey, Marilyn, how's it going?
Almost gone, but never forgotten.
Ah, there you go. So
Never forgotten.
Wiped out your stash, did you? Hello. I call drinking. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm here.
Good. I thought I lost you for a second here. How's it going, Marilyn? What's up?
It's great. I have a...
Glug. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Yes, ma'am.
I have a title for your podcast.
All right.
And a logo idea and
Okay.
a catchphrase.
And a what?
And a catchphrase.
A catchphrase. All right, please go right ahead.
Catchphrase. Tagline.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't think it's too hokey, okay?
All right.
Don't laugh too hard.
That's kind of long in a tagline. That's not
Oh,
the
I'm
one.
sorry. I got them mixed up.
No,
Anyways.
I just messing with you. All right, go ahead. Here we go. Tagline. Here's Marilyn with a tagline right here.
No, the title name is Simmer with the Kimmer.
Simmer with a Kimmer. All right.
And the logo idea would be a burner, a stove burner with the dial turned to low.
Okay.
And Simmer with the Kimmer.
Yeah.
There's actually a font for Simmer. But anyways.
All right. Simmer font would be included. All right.
Yeah, that's the logo.
Yeah.
And the catchphrase would be Simmer down.
Simmer down. Well, there you are. Maryland, you jolly joker. Everybody's so helpful. It's a tremendous story. Here's Christina on the old Almost Gone 106.7. Hello, Christina.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I wanted to call in memory of my Aunt Alger. She was in the Women's Army Corps. The
Excellent.
Auxiliary.
Wow.
She was a nurse. And I understand a lot of the ladies that were in the military back then did not get their benefits until after they were dead.
Yeah.
So I just think they deserve a very special salute.
Absolutely, they do. And your aunt's name was, what was it again? Aunt
Alver.
Alva?
Alver.
Alver. Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Christina. We honor your Aunt Alver and all those who sacrificed. Here's Ron on the old Almost Gone. Hello, Ron. You on the radio? We're taking out of the old folks' home. Hello, Ron. Hey, Ron.
What?
Ron. Hey, Ron. Oh, well, Ron's gone.
Ron was 96.
He was 96?
Yeah.
Well, hey, Ron, somebody could help him call back. Pete, my God, Pete cut the man off. Well, oh, my God. All right, somebody, whoever's on the phone over there in Ron's place, put him back, get him back on the freaking line. We'll go put the head of the class.
To the head of the class.
Right,
I did not know he was 96.
He probably had to tip the home health aid an extra 20.
We waited 96 seconds.
My God, man. Well, Ron, I'm so sorry. Truly, I'm sorry, my friend.
We have completely gone off the rails.
5:34. I have a quick, kind of a weird story of a military. Maybe that's him again. Hold on a minute.
Is it as weird as this?
People die every single time from poisonous turtles. Or rats and snakes and. I thought they were poisonous. Is he not going to get that line? Probably not, I guess. Is he doing something?
He's not in there.
Oh, well, a guy hung up again. That's probably Ron for the second time. Now I'm starting to feel really bad about Ron.
You should.
I mean, how many more days has he got to call in? I'm just saying. I'm just wondering. It's possible. Is there nobody back there? Spalding, get your foot on the boat's not there? Well, pick it up and see if you did? Well, pick it up and see if that was Ron.
Let's see who it is. Mystery caller.
Hi, mystery caller. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Ron.
Ron, God bless you. Thanks, man. I don't know what happened, but, man, we lost you. I'm glad you called back. How you doing? Semper Fi, Ron. Welcome aboard.
Semper Fi, brother. Hey, did you happen to see that it was on it's on YouTube, that 96-year-old veteran playing the national anthem
on his harmonica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. That was great. 96 years old. How do you get all the breath? I mean, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, that was really great.
Hey, Kimmer.
Yeah.
It brought tears to my eyes.
I know. It's special, man.
Hey, Semper Fi, brother.
Thank you, Ron.
It's about the people we lost.
Yeah.
But it's also about the ones that were still around and we lost because of like Agent Orange and all that other stuff, injuries.
Yeah.
So
gave me my cancer. Oh, sorry.
Amen, brother. Hey,
all right.
Hey, man, I love you guys.
You too.
You made my transition to Atlanta a lot easier.
I'm sorry. We lost you. You made your transition?
Yeah, my transition to Atlanta from Ohio made it a lot easier.
Well, you're very kind to say so, Ron. Thank you. Semper Fi, my friend. God bless you and God bless America.
Semper Fi. God bless.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Do you watch the game as the Mexicans against the American girls at warm up?
Yes.
And he did that.
Yeah.
And then they did the Mexican anthem, and the Mexican girls were all singing.
I didn't see that.
And the American girls sitting there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And two of them have already run their mouth about who we all should be voting for because they're so much more intelligent than we are. Because they kick a ball,
Right. Yeah.
So I'm almost to the point. One more miles off.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling against them.
Yeah. In fact, I'm even sick and tired of seeing their stupid commercials like, Mr. Macho kick, thing on the thing there, the thing there.
Is that
sick of them?
What's your name?
You son of a bitch.
That blonde little vicious little snotty little.
Rapinoe, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Rapinoe.
And now Alex Morgan is running her mouth.
It's break,
like,
pow, boom. Yeah, give me a break. What the hell you think you're doing there? 5:37. I got newsmaker lines. And crickets. So newsmaker lines and crickets. Next on the old We're Gone 106.7.
And Larry the Cable Guy. This portion of our show is brought to you by Cumulus, where major market experience is way overrated.
There you go.
Buddy, want a job in drive time? And now, here's your temporary host, Kim.
Hold everything. 5:41. Hold on, Chuck. It's only the Kimmer. And it's Memorial Day. Here's the number, 404-741-1067, 1067. Little freedom in the background there. This was the day, 1995, actor Christopher Reeve was in a jumping event, a horse show in Charlottesville, Virginia. And that's when his horse threw him, and he was paralyzed from that day until he died, 1995. In 1962, this is an incredible story, and every year I mention it, and every year it's still true, far as I know. In 1962, a dump fire in Centralia, Pennsylvania, a dump fire ignited a blaze in underground coal deposits, and it continues to burn to this day since 1962. And there have been stories of dumps that have tires in them that burn for years, and they can't put them out. Anyway, 5:42. Here's Chuck on the Memorial Day with the Kimmer. What's up, Chuck? How you doing?
Hey, Kimmer. Good to talk to you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, Memorial Day is very important to me. My daddy was in World War II and Korea. Came home without a scratch. Got killed by a drunk driver.
Oh, man.
A few months later, my granddaddy, who was in World War I, passed away. My grandmother, whom I never got to meet, died after having served in the Army Air Corps.
Wow, good.
And, of course, I was in the Army myself for 8 years, so... and one thing I have to say, and this comes from an old dog face.
Yes, sir.
Semper Fi, my friend.
Thank you, Chuck. God bless you, my friend. Caissons, keep rolling around. Thank you so much. 5:43 Memorial Day. Here, the old Almost Gone 106.7. Oh, by the way, we're going to do a news line here in a second. By the way, just for the record, You bike riders, and they were all over the freaking place because there wasn't much traffic today, but so I'm up to see Jack the Good Boy, and there's a bunch of four-way stops. Okay, so on the way back, I go to a four-way stop, and I'm going to take a right. So I'm approaching the stop sign. I'm about 10 feet from the stop sign. I'm going maybe a mile an hour. I'm just coasting to the stop sign, and I'm ready to stop and take a right, and about 30 yards to my left, I see two bike riders going about 40 miles an hour on their bikes, and they're about to go through their stop sign because it's a four-way stop. And what I should have done is pulled out. I should have pulled out and make them obey the stop sign. They would have had to slam the brake. I mean, they would have gone flying. And I should have, I almost did it, and then the guy realized what he was doing, and then I let him, so he kind of waved like half-hearted, like, oh, it's one of those things, you know. But now you freaking bike riders, if you come up to a four-way stop, you know, I almost didn't see him. I mean, there's two guys on a bike. I was looking for cars. And I got up there and I was going to take a right, and then thank God I saw them at the last second because they were flying and they were going right through the stop sign. I would have creamed both of them.
Is that a tandem bike?
No, it was two different guys, two different
you said
bikes.
two guys on a bike, go.
Two guys on different bikes each, you bastard.
I'm just saying, that's what you said.
Well, I misspoke. It was a guy on a bike and another guy on a bike. Two guys, two bikes, you bastard. I get an idea. Let's go in and work on a holiday.
Yeah, whose idea was this?
All right, I made him come in.
He made a mistake.
5:45. Newsmaker line, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Timmer. Bring it here.
Oh, no, you almost had it, sir. Almost.
Bring it to me.
No, that's not it. Guys, so close.
We have nothing to fear but afraid.
No, golly. Former Secretary of State John Kerry. No, you don't really have it, sir. I'm sorry.
You know, Memorial Day carries special significance to yours, John Kerry, who served in Vietnam.
I heard you were there for a couple of weeks. Absolutely.
I'm reminded of all the fellow soldiers I threw under the bus with my Senate testimony.
Yeah, that lying stuff, yeah.
Into the savagery of Genghis Khan. I couldn't even say that guy's name right.
What the hell was that? We lost him again. What the hell's going on here? That happened last week, too, remember? Was it Thursday or Friday? All of a sudden, we're on the news. Yeah, we had a little mix-up with the newspaper line there. Sorry that at the last minute we're deciding what to do while it's playing. No, it's okay, it's okay. And by the way, Flounder's off today. Hangman with a great appreciation on the board, and Spalding, get your foot off the boat, has been doing our phone duty. And as soon as you're ready for another newspaper line, Hangman, what do you think? You ready to go?
Hello, who is it?
It's Charlton Heston.
Don't you know it's a holiday, you telemarketing bastard? My aluminum siding is fine. Leave me the hell alone. And besides, we're all mourning the loss of the great Ken Starr. You know, the first man to come across the infamous blue dress.
The second. No, it was the wrong Starr, sir.
I was telling Mrs. Heston, Bart Simpson was too young to die. I'm sure Marge and Homer are about beside themselves to lose Bart Simpson at such a
Bart
young
Simpson.
age.
Wasn't.
You know, I'm not surprised that fat load Star Jones bought the farm. Star was a heart attack waiting to happen.
Star Jones, sir. Wasn't.
Who was it?
It was Bart Starr, the famous Packer football.
That's completely different. Why didn't you stop me, you son of a...
Sorry, it's my fault.
Well, I understand that they're going to delay Bart's burial till December.
Delay till December?
Well, his lifelong dream was to be buried under the frozen tundra of Randall John Fusenda. Bart Starr. There's no R's in those two names.
Bart Starr.
Bart Starr, yes. Let me park my car. I'm John Fusenda. Yeah, not a lot of calls for that. You know? Did I ever tell you about the day I told my wife that we decided not to have any kids?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Let me tell you, our kids took it pretty bad. We just dumped him out there. We don't want you anymore. You go fend for yourself.
You moved and didn't tell them, that's all.
Hey, did I tell you that my next-door neighbor started making sex videos?
Making sex videos?
They don't know it yet.
Wait till they find out.
Right. Well, the bad news at the Indy 500 drivers Graham Rahal and Sebastian Bourdais collided with each other, which is 20 laps to go, Mr.
20 laps to go, collide. Yeah.
The good news is finally an Indy crash that couldn't be blamed on Danica Patrick. She was up in the booth, and I understand that Aaron Rodgers was in a booth, too.
Glory be.
He had no interest in the race because Jim Nabors isn't there to sing Back Home in Indiana anymore. I didn't realize that Pornhub had an Alabama section.
An Alabama section?
I keep saying, show more related videos. Realized that they were... Did I ever tell you about one of the most memorable days of my life?
No, sir. Please share it with us.
Well, you brought it on. Memorial Day.
What your memorable day was, sir?
It was the day I stood there yelling, it's a boy. Tears were streaming down my face, Mr. Hess.
Wow, that's great.
It was at that precise moment I vowed never to visit Thailand again.
What a surprise! Thank you so much, Charlton Espen. Pete, we had a request for information of some kind here.
Georgie wants to know what a dog target is.
A dog target, ready in your dog target. A dog target is basically a silhouette of a head and shoulders. So it's a rounded top and then two shoulders. It's basically a head and shoulders silhouette.
Why is it called a dog?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know why they call it a dog target. There's got to be a reason, and I'm damned if I can remember what it is. I don't know. Yeah, that's the reason right there. Another newsmaker line coming up for you in a second. First of all, just for a moment, in case you missed it earlier, the text of Sullivan Ballew's letter to his wife from the battlefield in 1861. Sarah, my love for you is deathless. It binds me with mighty cables that nothing but omnipotence can break. And yet my love of my country comes over me like a strong wind and bears me irresistibly on with all those chains to the battlefield. Something whispers to me, perhaps it is the wafted prayer of my little Edgar, that I shall return to my loved ones unharmed. If I do not, my dear Sarah, never forget how much I love you, nor that when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, it will whisper your name. Sullivan Ballew was killed a week later at the First Battle of Bull Run. The sacrifice is with us today. 5:51 on the Almost Gone 106.7. How about another newsmaker line? Good afternoon.
That's your base. That's my base. Hey, Harry, you know.
Yeah, Harry, how's it going, man? How are you?
Well, it's kind of a sad note up in Boston. Did you see that Bill Buckner died?
Bill Buckner died, the first baseman, famous. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to serve at the wake. Butterfingers? His honor.
The ball went through his legs, remember?
Yeah, it's a shame Buckner couldn't be more like Cory Booker, the senator from New Jersey.
Well, what do you mean by that, sir?
Well, when's the last time Cory ever let any balls get by him? You know, there's already talk of placing a Parmesan over Bill Buckner's grave.
Over his grave? Really? What?
Well, considering all the Red Sox fans who are lined up to urinate on it, you want to have a little ardor going when you're doing stuff like that, you know? Well, it's good to see the Cubs are off to a great start.
Yeah, Cubs.
Hell, most of the years I did them, the Cubs spent so much time in the basement, you'd think they were, John Wayne Gacy's house guest. Is it true you wanted a clown for your birthday and your parents brought in John Wayne Gacy?
Hi, kids.
Jump in the hefty bag. Let's see what happens.
Jump in the hefty bag.
Oh, no.
Just having heavy or to here on the truck.
Yeah. Holy cow, it's biodegradable. We didn't even know you were there. I'm just spitballing you, getting ready for the new non-show or whatever.
Yeah, God.
Hey, did I ever tell you back in the 80s when I was doing the Cubs games that Kevin Spacey was offered a tryout with the Chicago Cubs?
He was offered a tryout with the Cubs? Wow.
Yeah, they couldn't get him to leave the minors. They tried. Hey, everybody, I'll be here all God blessed week, unfortunately, Hey, I'm not surprised Cumulus included the No Talk 106.7 in their sale to the fake Christians,
You're not surprised, really?
Well, as the only profitable station of the six, you're making the rest of the chain start to look bad, especially when the new company mission statement is revenue schmevenue, As long as we get rid of those conservatives, we don't even care if we go back into Chapter 11. It's not our money,
It's not our money.
It's time for Hairneck.
Hairneck, the magnificent, sir.
The answer is a hot grounder.
A hot grounder.
What did the FAA call John Denver's airplane?
Oh, God. The man's dead.
I forgot to do that one when John Denver fan, Matter of fact, his favorite bar food is smoked wings.
Smoked wings, ladies. Oh, my God.
The answer is the crack of a bat.
The crack of the bat.
What might you see when Jane Fonda bends over? The answer is a pop fly.
A pop fly.
What could you find in a Pop-Tart at the Landmark Diner? I hold in my hand the final
last one. Okay.
May you go to a Braves home game only to discover that Belinda Skelton is singing in the 7th inning. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever do.
Oh, man.
Kill me now, for God's sake. The answer is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Describe Lance Armstrong with 2 strikes. We didn't see that one coming up the freeway. Oh, wait, come on, get right here in the head.
Hey, kid, try on these handcuffs.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's play Spaceman on the refrigerator.
Look out, 5:56. Terry, I'm sorry we're out of time, but we'll put you on hold until tomorrow at 2:55. You'll be first, I promise. By the way, Donald Trump may be pardoning some soldiers and special ops troops for the work they did in the war. And if you're, Pete Buttigieg and these other people complaining that it's scandalous, baloney. How supporting our heroes killing the bad guys. Give me a stinking break. God bless America. Hoorah! Semper Fi! It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. I gotta go. You're killing me. Stand by. Hey!